All right, new experiment coming at you. It's the 27th of February, 2025. This is the first Gimbalabs Tech check-in. And what we're going to do is just a pretty traditional stand-up where everybody shares what they've been working on, what they're doing next, and what they're blocked by. And if there's time, then we'll stick around and maybe work on some things together, or if people have blockers that other folks can help resolve, that's how we'll spend our time. Does anybody want to go first, sharing out what
I
your
can
stand up?
go
Yeah.
first. But yeah, so I've been working on deploying the reference script UTXOs, and we discussed in one of the sessions that the script doesn't show up on the pre-prod. So now I'm not sure if I did it right or if something else needs to be done. And yeah, so that's where I'm blocked at.
That sounds like a great example of something we can look at together. And you know, let's do facilitation of this one a little bit different. When you share out and you're done, can you pass it to somebody else of your choice?
For sure, for sure. Yeah. Andrew, if you want to go next.
Yes. Um, so Harsh is there talking about the deployment of the validators. The next step in that from Asteria is, I think, well, the first transaction we believe is the create Asteria, where you create the game, and that's where you send a transaction to the Asteria validator. And there's a bit in that because it involves referencing a policy ID linked to the space-time validator. And I'm probably a little bit rusty around minting validators. I've been spending some time around spending validators. I had a few questions on that. That would be uh, that would be my thing.
And that's a great one to follow up on as well. Who do you want to pass it off to?
Oh, I don't know. Anybody who's hands up? Martin, I can see your hand up.
Yeah, I can demonstrate starting Dandelion and show the governance side if people are interested.
Good deal. Yeah, and you kind of shared what you've been working on already during the open spaces. Anything blocking you right now?
No, just grinding.
Excellent. All right, so we've got a couple of blockers that might be on the agenda. Maybe a demo from Martin might be on the agenda. Before we get to that, Martin, who do you want to pass it to next?
Adrian, am I? Yeah, sorry.
So I'm currently taking a deeper dive into Aiken. I'm doing that by rewriting one of the Endamio validators in Aiken. Yeah, blocking nothing, maybe the unfamiliarity with Aiken, so I have to look up a lot. Yeah, and I pass it to Newman.
All right. Um, Working on the Asteria, my my blocker is the sort of getting a mental model, which is I think the big blocker of the whole project is just getting a mental model of what's going on um, in playing the game. I could be unblocked by someone playing the game with me, but either. But yeah, that's where I'm at with my blocker. I don't know if we can do that today. The other one was that I know that the pay and getting the rewards. Um, I feel like that in a project, in a decentralized project, simply because of the nature of it, um, I think that it's important to get to that first level of payment and sort of establishing the trust relationship. Hey, I've made a contract and it's sort of like leveling up. It could be even just 10 ADA so that we know the pipe works. And I know that we were waiting on Andamio. And so that would be just super cool to just get. And then it's just like, oh yeah, I know I'm working in a decentralized way. I've got this project, I have this team, and then we, you know, we do a very first step, but we know that the pay vending machine works. That we're like, oh, we do this, and then we get paid. So those are two concerns or two blockers. What I'm working on, what I'm considering now. And going to maybe Nelson, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing much. Yeah, I've been dealing with UTX or RPC for a while, and yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to build an Andamio SDK so that we know that Andamio is now live on mainnet, so that people can build on top of it. So people can even make multiple interfaces or Andamio Explorer or all sort of things. So trying to build an SDK. On the UTX or RPC side, there are some features that I want to be supported, which are not yet. So I'm trying to push for it. But yeah, the maintainers are busy people, so I'm trying not to disturb them too much, but still want their feedback and all of that. So yeah, been pushing some pull requests and putting up some issues here and there, waiting for them to get merged or get a feedback. So those are the kind of waiting games, blockers. Other than that, a lot of stuff could be done in the meanwhile. So having fun doing all of that. I'm finally going to pass it to James.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, I've been mostly working like I had been really deep in the details of Andamio development and have spent this week zooming out to more of a road mapping and planning level. So that's felt really good. Had some fun strategic conversations with Jingles, for example, thinking about architectures. But not blocked by anything right now, and mostly really excited that we're getting this meeting off the ground. And so just listening, um, proposed agenda, and if other people want to propose an agenda, that's great. What if we had a demo from Martin, followed by unblocking what Harsha and Andrew named from that technical perspective, and then finally, we look at what Newman named. And because I agree, I think we're past due making sure that the pipeline works. And even though I want to like limit this meeting to 90 minutes in the future, that's something I think it's worth sticking around for. So even if that took us a little over 90 minutes, I would love to get that faucet up and running today, just so we know it's there. How would that sound as an agenda? Dandelion demos, Asteria blockers, and then funding pipeline. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. We've never done this before. So yeah, Martin, take it away. Oh, Nelson, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, on Martin, I wanted to ask about the Dandelion daily meeting, like weekly meeting time. Is it like a little bit flexible? Because I think I wasn't sure that I had something overlapping there before, but now that I found out, I have a 30 minutes overlap. Actually, an hour overlap. I can jump in the middle 30 minutes of the call. So that's
Yeah, I saw you arrive last time in 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry that that works out that way. I will ask because you're a co-proposer and you should be able to attend. So I think that's reasonable. And yeah, actually, we changed the other meeting on Tuesday to be the same time. So we moved that one half an hour earlier to be all at 1400. So now we're going to move the other one 30 minutes up. So that's a little unfortunate, but I will ask the rest. I think it's okay. Let's see if I can share something. Sharing screen. Okay, I'm at the Game Changer Dandelion Light. Copy the URL, clone it into a folder. Then we wait a little bit.
Yeah, I'll narrate for you. So you copied over the URL, use the git clone command in the command line. Now it's downloading into a new folder. Clone puts it in a new folder. Um, and now you're changing into that folder and you listed out everything.
I'll make it a little bigger.
Oh, gracias.
And then you start Dandoman script. And it will ask you, do I want to set up a pre-production or mainnet? Well, we're going for the easy way.
Pre-prod.
It will set up everything you need, like install some packages. We're using Ubuntu, so that's a little bit of a prerequisite. So we have installed our environment. I think I have to get out of it to make that final. And then we can start with Docker. We can do the up. And if I'm lucky, it will start Dockerizing things. I mean, it's downloading all your server images from Docker Hub. And then, if you wait until all that stuff is downloaded, you have a running Dandelion node. Is that easy enough for people, or?
Well, in my opinion,
If you have the right Docker images,
Well, that you don't need to know that. I mean, that's all configured.
so right, what's the requirement for somebody to understand about Docker in order to do what you just did?
You need to be able to press the buttons in the same way as I do.
I need to have, if I have Docker engine installed on my computer,
You don't need that. No,
not
it will
even that.
install. No,
Okay. There's
it will
no
install.
Docker prerequisite here.
No, it will install Podman because we don't use Docker because that is root privilege.
Okay.
Podman is also user privileged, so you don't even need root privileges.
Okay.
It only needs root privilege to install the necessary files.
So on a fresh Ubuntu installation, somebody could do what you just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on a remote server as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
all right.
That's pretty amazing.
I think, that's what we're trying to do
That's
to make it
progress.
just very simple. And there's no reason I mean, you're not able to code in Haskell, and yet you can start a Cardano node. So there's no reason to leave out the last 10 steps because coding is automation. So I
That's a
think
good point.
everything should just have a start script and it should just work, is my opinion. Maybe it's a little harsh to say, but if as a developer I need to do 5 steps, well, you did a million steps to make the program work. Why leave out the last 5?
Right.
No.
Right.
So I see that Adrian's got his hand up though.
I think that was from previous.
Oh, okay. Uh,
He's stretching.
Hey, Martin, I have a small question. So what are the system requirements to run like a Dandelion node?
Pre-prod, you can do that on any system, I think. Well, it is now any system. No. I think you still need 30 gigabytes of RAM would be nice, I think.
Of
30 of
RAM. Oh,
RAM?
Jesus, that's actually pretty high.
What?
Yeah, my server has 128.
Of RAM.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's where I'm running Dandelion on because GraphQL is it's a monster. I'm working on a replacement. I'm playing with Dingo and that's the Go node and dgraph to directly put everything directly into a graph database because now you're going with several intermediate steps, which I think
I've
is a
gone,
little bit redundant.
I've
Um,
gone to the repo and I was about to clone it, and now it's like I'm putting the cookies back on the shelf. I'm like, no, I don't have doesn't fit my diet. 128 gigs of
well,
RAM.
that's no, but that's for mainnet and pre-prod, doing them both. I
Ah,
think you can still do pre-prod on your machine. That will be should be possible.
okay. Well, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
Just
I
try it.
take the cookies back off the shelf.
But yeah, we're working on something else as well, where you replace the node with a local testnet. So there's actually three nodes talking to each other, very lightweight. Then you have an empty uh, Dandelion node. So with all the services, so including GraphQL, that's perfect for testing because you can start all the services in 20 seconds. And then you start clean again, which is pretty nice, I think, for testing. Well, just takes a while to get the Cardano node started. So
So
um,
that's it's those few steps to get it running, and then what would be the steps towards then being able to use this? Is some just for somebody on their local machine. I now have this running on my local machine. How many steps until I can say
uh,
pull it into a local front end project?
pre-prod takes half a day to sync on a fast computer. That's including GraphQL. So first you sync the node, then you put all that data in a PostgreSQL database with DB-Sync. And from DB-Sync, assets gets generated, or an asset index gets generated for GraphQL. So yeah, that also takes a while. So yeah, it's a heavy process. There's, I think, lots to optimize because I was in Belgium with Roberto, the original OG of Dandelion. And I was there with Thomas Kemmelocher, and he was at that time the maintainer of GraphQL. I think, yeah, Cardano GraphQL. But he said the code was not very great. So he said to me, I don't have permission from my manager to improve it, but it would need 4 months of work to make it really good. Yeah, I want to contact him and show him the Dingo thing and maybe talk to him about if you're going to start something new and want to, maybe start fresh with something, you know, just bare bones. But that's what I would like to do. But no, it is that's a real pipe dream. Oh, never hurts to try it. But I have actually this Dingo and GraphQL, dgraph. I have it actually running and syncing into dgraph, and I can do GraphQL queries, which was funny. I did it pretty quickly. So yeah, how does this work? I will show you. Docker PS. Everything is behind an everything is behind, which one is that? Unimatrix. Where is is that maybe There could be still some small things. It's
Docker Compose YAML.
this is where all the services are defined. So the HA proxy, that's all everything is behind the proxy server, and it shows you the link. So maybe it's better if I show you something that's already done. I'm running my own services. Like the end result will be just you go to the port number of the how do you say that in English? HA proxy. And then you get just a web page, and it will guide you to the proper endpoints.
What?
So this is already obvious, and you see, oh, blocks are incoming. Pretty cool. And you can also do a GraphQL query here. So if you want to do Cardano query, yep, that's a nice trick, right? You want to query the tab. I'm not a skilled GraphQL developer, so I can't do that from top of my mind. So that should actually work. And then you can GraphQL. So
Oh,
that's Dandelion. And this is the Dandelion. This is the governance side. So I made already components of it for a React site, which I learned from James. So I'm getting quite good at it. Thank you, James, for learning me that. That's my demo, I think.
well, spend some time with this. Now, this looks like a Project Catalyst
Yes, I
thing.
copied it.
Ah, okay. But it's just how you're project managing, administering the
Yeah,
project for yourself.
yeah, I copied the design, but yeah, this will no, well, this for the project Dandelion Fund 13, this will be where all the transactions and stuff will happen. So um, I made some mock-ups of how that will look.
Cool.
It's in the Gimbalabs Dandelion here. You see these designs. You can go to the M2 page, and there I want to make this button really a transaction button. And I want to really make like every number you see here should be represented real time on what is happening on the blockchain. So
That's going to be awesome.
that's
And how much is built out now?
I'm now working on it, and which file is that? Close that one. Working on it here, and
Martin, is there a reason why you have chosen React plus Vite, like Vite for this? Like we are not pinging the real servers to get in real time data about their status at the moment, right?
no. This is my development environment, and at the moment I'm now creating the green blocks. So
Yeah.
like those are the strings, and yeah, say you do a GraphQL, this is just a list. People can put their or yeah, there's going to be a login, and people can add maybe themselves when they are approved. It's just a link to the Dandelion server we've just started, for example, and it does every day a query tip to the GraphQL endpoint. And then if it doesn't return something, valid, you'll get a zero. So then if you have too many zeros, you don't get a payout. That's the idea.
Oh.
I'm thinking if we use a framework that supports server side, something like Next.js or uh, Build, something like that, like something that supports server side natively, a framework, rather than just a vanilla React project. It would be much easier to implement those like status and all. Like you want the green status like the time bar, right? Like you have the time and how much uptime you get. You
Yeah.
build a diagram of it, right? So your server will be basically pinging the server and finding out if they are up or not. So all those would be easier if we use a framework that supports server side stuff.
Why would
We
that
can
be so?
always, hmm?
Why would that be?
So if you want that real-time data feed of whether your server is up or not, uh, your site have to have a server-side code that pings that server and see if it's up or not, right?
Well, no, GraphQL can run browser side, but
No,
you have to store the data somewhere. That can be on the
yeah,
server.
I'm talking about this website, just this website. You want to display the uptime of your servers in a website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that I'm thinking that it might be better if this website is built on something like Next.js or something similar.
But that is also just React, right? I mean, it's
It
now
has
built
a couple of more things than React, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to maybe tomorrow we can discuss more of that stuff. But yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
so
all right.
sure about it at the moment, and I didn't see any limitations yet. I would need to know if is there pre-made components that I can reuse or that I don't have to start from scratch, or I don't see a reason why I couldn't use this framework to store data server side. So.
No, you can, but basically you have to do all of this stuff by yourself. In the framework, they have it set up for you so that you just have to write a few lines of code. Yeah, there's no limitation to just using vanilla React. Like you can build everything on top of it.
But it's still faster to do it next, yeah, you say. Well, I don't show me. That would be nice.
All right. Yeah.
Is that well, I don't think I have more than this.
That's amazing. Have you shared all this with Roberto?
No, I don't think I have shown all this stuff yet. I think, yeah, he's of course well aware of Dandelion Light, but
Right.
he's also a very busy man, so
Yeah. No, you're going a long way towards fulfilling his original vision. And I just love the simplicity of that design. Just hey, ping query tip once a day. It's it's clean. Really cool.
yeah, I don't want to spend all that time administrating.
Yeah.
I just want to do at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody had a very bad week and you want to compensate something, you can discuss it.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
press the button.
That's really cool.
So that's it for me.
Thanks. Amazing. Well, Harsha, Andrew, you guys want to decide who goes next if there's an appropriate order?
Uh, I can go first. I think mine will be like a little bit shorter. Let me share my screen. So last time we were trying this, we sent the out flag. We use the out flag, and we can see the script in the UTXOs. But but we can't see the script in these guys in the pre-prod. Yeah, so for some reason so this is the address where I've been storing the UTXOs, but I don't see uh, the script in any of the UTXOs, at least in the uh, pre-prod. Do you think it would help to see the variables that I used in the transaction in any way?
Well, so honestly, right, what matters is the response you're getting here via Cardano CLI, right? You have
Yeah.
proof that the script is successfully on chain. It looks like the problem is that the tool, like the web-based tools we're using, aren't presenting that data. And I wasn't aware of that. Last time I looked at this a couple months ago, you could see it on Cardano scan. But the fact that you can't right now, that's to me, that's not a blocker. And does anybody know, like, is there like a security reason maybe why the explorers have chosen it's not a bug and it's a decision they made?
I'm also completely unaware of that. So maybe if you change back to the web browser, you can look, maybe we can find it. So you looked for the address.
Yeah, and these are the
Now,
UTXOs.
if you click on the first transaction, the hashes, here you see it. You see the script.
Oh, script.
Aha.
Oh, I mean, I thought we didn't see this last time. Okay, I mean, as long as we see it, yeah.
Someone's playing tricks with you, Harsha.
Uh,
We'll find them.
Okay, I mean, if we see it, I think my blocker is pretty much taken care of. And my next step is to like deploy the remaining two script reference UTXOs. Yeah.
Amazing. Gosh, that was easy. What else should we do?
Harsha, do you have a preference with Block Pros and Maestro?
Uh, uh, no, actually, I've been using Maestro just because like they presented in like our playground, so I just use them. But frankly, I don't have a preference.
So yeah, they offer read like transaction details endpoint. Uh, it's really nice to have a look at all the transaction details there, and it shows all of this stuff, like everything that's included in the transaction. It's a yeah,
When you say they, are you referring to Block Frost or Maestro or both?
both. There's a both. Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool.
I'll
I'll
bring to
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
and that would be a decision. I mean, I think that would not be a decision for us as to which service we wanted to use. So it's just something to look at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or how soon somebody wants to start, attending the Go sessions and building a custom indexer so we don't need Block Frost or Maestro for this anymore.
So the for the custom indexers, should we be using Go along with Dandelion or just Go?
That's a really good question. And I think getting to the heart of that question should be one of our goals moving forward. Yeah, like helping you guys understand what those options are so we can make the most of them. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like writing a development roadmap, like 18 months long in real time. This is beautiful. This is really cool.
I think it's probably my role now to be like, I've kind of lost the thread, and I would love to get back. And we can do this. We can do this tomorrow on our Friday meeting, but um, that's sort of where I'm at because let's see if I can pull it. Because we deployed those validators with a process that's in our if who Harsh, are you still sharing the screen? We've got that documentation in our group repo, and that involved
Which documentation are you referring to, Newman?
yeah, that our repo with the documentation that you created about deploying the
Oh, the
validators.
blueprint document. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Blueprint. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So, and that was sort of a long process of several steps going through each parameter to create something that then you use to create another thing. Um, and then that produced a script. And then I think the step that I missed was that I'm going to use
It
a word.
produced a script address.
Yeah. And then it, you got that script on chain, and that's where I'm a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I did get that script on chain, yes.
That's what we just
And now
saw.
we'll be using that reference script hash to unlock the UTXOs locked in the validator address.
Create
Mm.
UTXOs first.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of
After,
where my thing comes in.
yeah, yep, yep.
Okay. All right.
I think.
And this is all done command line, and ultimately we'll have a mesh front end with buttons and graphics and uh, Tailwind CSS flex boxes and colors and things like that uh, to sort of punch a button that creates, inputs, copy paste, and then these things will all be created on the front end. That's
So,
sort of where.
what we just did with Blueprint through the terminal can also be done through Mesh, and that is
Yeah,
what Emmanuel is working on. Yeah.
yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, okay. Somewhat back up to speed. Um, yeah. My thing is I still don't, and I think it's important to I think it's important to do things we don't understand to like get the mechanics, what do they call it, the muscle memory or the cardio. We used to call it like coding cardio, where you're just typing with your fingers, and it's like you may or may not understand it, but then sometimes like the fog lifts, and you're like, oh yeah, you're no longer typing with your fingers something that you don't understand. It's just you learn the language. You just learn the language. I'm still in that zone. Try not to let it bug me too much. I just wonder what the coding cardio is for this. Like, what can you repeat over and over? Is it doing that process of the validators over and over? Um, running it all through the command line. Because if you do have an abstracted front end, you probably won't go backwards in your concept. So it is nice to work with a more code um, frame, because then you get a coding mental model as opposed to it's just these buttons that you press. Although perhaps that's what we're trying to do is like what Martin was saying. It's just like you don't need to know Haskell in order to do a process. You don't need to know the inner workings of Docker, but there is some value in kind of understanding uh, a level or two away from your abstraction point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, what I think is important is you can better work backwards learning from something that works with one button click,
Yeah.
then work forward and it's less frustrating. So
Well, I guess that's where we are now, is sort of working forward from something that we're trying to make work, as opposed to having something that is working that we take apart and then build back. We've got something that doesn't doesn't really work. Uh, and I guess that's what Emmanuel got to on one of the discords. They were saying, well, this is just a test bed. I think he was sort of spilled the tea a little bit. He's like, this is a test bed who was not really. That's I think why they won't, why it's doing difficult, or they're very busy about just turning on a game and screen sharing. Oh, here's how we create a new admin token. Here are players. This is what we tell the players. This is how they mint a ship with the shipyard policy. This is where that lives. These are the commands. That's kind of what I'm looking for, but whatever reason, that's what I'm having to come up with. But
Thank you for saying that. No, and that feels like an even stronger justification for us doing that, right? Like I think the people at TX Pipe have so many things they could possibly do right now, right?
yeah,
And that's where we come in and we say, look, we're the people who are going to have the patience to help other people come in and join this work.
yeah. That's exactly how I see it. You need someone outside. It's like you made a game, and you worked with the game and you're with your friends, and then your friends are tired of playing it. They've already done it 100 times, and so you need sort of semi-friends to come in that you explain. We're user testers,
Mm.
um, and then we can say, well, this doesn't make sense to me, or oh, we get stuck here, or this is where, yeah. But I just assumed that and it is in our tasks that we would play the game in the first phase. So
Yeah.
we can't really get out of that until we play the game.
Yeah.
And we as active, curious people are kind of running through these threads and building and it hadn't been hard. I mean, Harsha loves to do this stuff. Andrew and Emmanuel as just a champion for like I think he's really, really engaged and connecting with people. But I'm still in that zone just because of the way, I have that sort of big picture drill down into the details, especially as I get older. Um, uh, but I think it could be fixed. And as I get a new little nugget and working with the team, we are sort of figuring out stuff. We're in a definitely different place. Like I can read validators now, thanks to the Aiken PBL, and I kind of understand the fog of that code is definitely understanding more. Um, uh, but I, yeah, yeah. And what I was going to say is that there's all these great resources, and it's just it does take time, and it does take like a special amount of patience uh, that I haven't been able to muster in the last. I mean, geez, I was in California for 6 weeks, so but now we're back, and I've got pretty clear air ahead of me for at least the next until opening day. Opening day. So I mean, I feel like that's pretty good explanation of my blockers and sort of where I am. And Andrew and Harsha, did you talk it out? Andrew, what's yours?
No, I've got a question, so follows on from my Harsha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. I'll share screen.
Perfect. And while you're doing that, Harsha, so you're that the script reference is there and your blocker is done. You've got a
Yeah.
clear
I just need
air
to
ahead of you.
send in the remaining two reference scripts, UTXOs, and then we can start using them.
And that means we can interact with them, meaning that we can, okay. Yeah.
So we'll
We'll
have
get
to
together
send in the
tomorrow.
UTXOs. Go ahead. I don't know who talked. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that was just me. We'll work on that tomorrow, or are you able to tell us how far you got tomorrow? Unfortunately, it's right at the same time as the dandelion thing that we've been meeting.
We have too many cool projects to do at the same time.
We're an embarrassment of riches, as they like to say.
Yeah.
Okay,
what do I see on the screen here?
Okay, so we're just carrying on from what Harsh was saying. We're working on the assumption that he gets his validated deployed okay. I thought you'd already put two over, but maybe it's just the one for the moment, Harsha. The one he has put out is the Asteria validator.
I put in two. One is Asteria, other is Spacetime.
Yeah. And so I might have jumped the gun a little bit with you there when I asked you to put the space-time one on, because I think there might be an order to put them on. It might have been the pellet validator, but I won't digress. No, my question is, so once the three validators are on chain, the first transaction we make is this create Asteria transaction. And that is basically locking an admin token in at the script address, or at an address, basically referencing the script on chain, and that UTXO, which is created from it, will be replaced. I'm not going to go into that, but anyway, we create the game, this first one, and that's what comes out of it. So we send an admin token from the admin's wallet. That creates an Asteria UTXO, as you can see on the screen. And that lock in an admin token, but there'll also be a datum, which you can see there on the bottom right of the screen, which will be a ship counter and a shipyard policy. So I'm in the process of, this is their original old Lucid off-chain stuff. And I'm in the process of trying to refactor that into mesh. And the thing I had was, and this is where my mint invalidators come a little bit hazy, is I understand how to create a minting script or a policy on chain, and in this case we need to reference the minting policy, a minting policy for creating ships, which is linked to the space-time validator. But anyway, we need to in this first transaction we need to reference a policy ID within the datum. And my question is, does this needs to be some sort of, can I just can I create any sort of random policy and calling it whatever I like as the shipyard policy, or does it need to compile to something specifically linked to this validator here, the space-time validator?
Great.
And this is where I'm a little bit hazy. I don't know if there's a specific step. I know what steps I need to take to create a policy, but I don't know if there's something in it where, yeah, where
That's
it
a
What
needs
perfect.
exactly
something relevant to the actual validator.
For what exactly is the token used?
This,
Yeah, the
so
token you want to mint, what exactly is the purpose of it?
the purpose is to create a ship, which is, but what they mean by a ship is each user who plays the game creates their own ship, but their own ship is their actual own UTXO, which is sort of like their own
Mint.
version of their
Oh,
own playing of the game.
so if I'm one player, you are one player, do we
Yeah.
have the same token for our ship?
You would, yeah. If I was playing and you were playing, we would each send a create ship transaction. So this one here.
Yeah, can you go on that transaction?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I'm not at this stage. I'm just, but yeah, this is what we would have to do. Yeah, so we would send over. Um, yeah, I can show you this, or if you want, we can just. I can. They have these nice little. Nope. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. Pull that one up. Create a ship. And so, okay.
So I'm okay to create a minting policy, but yeah, I don't know if it needs,
I'm not sure. Can you go back to the Lucid code you were just showing us?
yeah, for the create ship.
Yeah, because it's the space-time validator, right? Minting policy to add. I'm looking at line 49. Can we look at the space-time validator Aiken source code?
So going over to on-chain
That's the
in the
minting
validator.
policy.
Can you scroll down a little bit? So I think for create ship, I think we will mint a ship.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. And what is the script purpose for this mint ship redeemer? It's mint, right?
Yeah,
Look at the comment on line 273.
yes, the shipyard policy.
This is where the policy comes from. So, to your original question, no, you can't create an arbitrary policy ID for the shipyard policy. This is derived from the minting validator script. And you can
Right.
think about this in contrast to the admin policy, which you 100% can just
Yeah.
come up with whatever arbitrary policy ID, right?
Okay. So how would I derive the policy ID from that?
Perfect. Okay, so you have this idea of a spending validator, right?
Yeah.
And a spending validator, what we typically expect it to do is allow us to derive an address, right?
Yes.
But have you encountered this concept of of a a validator hash along the way?
Um, s- Sorry,
And
I've
if
got a bit
not,
of
it's okay.
background noise.
No, that's okay.
Um,
Essentially we have the ability to create the hash of any validator. Okay.
Hey, James, small question. So when you say hash of a validator, are we talking about hash of a validator address or like the whole script or?
You take the CBOR.
Uh-huh.
If you look into the blueprint file, you see a CBOR.
Hmm.
And if you have applied all parameters, then you
Hmm.
have the CBOR of that validator. And if you
Hmm.
hash that, then you get the validator hash.
Okay, got it, got it. So it's the
Yeah.
hash of the whole script.
Exactly, of the CBOR
Okay,
of the script.
okay.
And if you then take that script hash or validator hash, you then derive the address from that.
Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
The validator hash is like the public key hash of a normal wallet, but for scripts.
Mm.
But what's the ultimate punchline here? Adrian, you could tell him, right?
Not sure what you mean.
That's the policy ID. That hash is the policy ID.
Oh, the hash is the policy ID.
right.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my
Okay,
days.
okay.
Isn't that
Okay.
beautiful?
No.
It,
Right, yeah, no.
can you imagine a future where it feels beautiful? Like
Yeah, I'm
we're
only
getting
joking.
close, right?
Yeah.
as I remember from PVBL going on 2 years ago, 2023, that's one of the things that I remember. I was like, oh, okay, just the hash of this it becomes the policy ID or the key that unlocks the minting of more.
Right.
Because if that hash changes, then it's different,
Okay.
so to speak.
So we already have the hash then, I believe.
We do, yes.
Yeah.
And that would be the minting policy ID or the policy ID in question. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I
brilliant.
don't know if we have the hash. I think we have the CBOR and we still have to hash it, I think.
Okay, yeah. Go, I can figure that out. I'm assuming there's a nice little tool on Mesh for that, because that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do it from
Maybe
an
there's
off
also
chain. So.
the hash in the blueprint file, but I'm not sure.
So, should we hash only the CBOR or can we? Oh, maybe the CBOR is the .plutus file, right?
If you look into the blueprint file, the Plutus.json file that you derived last time, I think, with Aiken
Yeah,
build,
yeah. It's on Asteria 2025 R repo.
then you applied all the parameters,
Yep.
and then there should be a compiled code, which is the CBOR, and below that you have a hash.
I see. Okay. Let me put
And
it here.
that hash should be the script hash.
Okay.
But in general, you are hashing the CBOR, but you need to add in something in front of it for the Bluetooth version, and you need to use the correct hash algorithm.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that answers my question. That gives me a bit to get on with there and dig into. Thanks.
That's cool.
I'll stop sharing.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. Just like, can I share my screen for 1 second just to solidify the idea we are talking about?
Please.
1 second. So this is one of the .plutus files that we created. So the hex, the CBOR, this is the one that we are talking about, right? This, 1 second. So
Yeah,
this becomes the policy. Oh, so once we hash this becomes the policy ID, right?
yes, correct.
Okay. And we are only hashing the CBOR hex and not this whole data structure?
Yes, exactly. But we
Okay.
have to add a prefix for the Bluetooth version to it.
To the CBOR?
Yeah, exactly. Before the CBOR, I think for Bluetooth version 3, it's 003 or something.
Oh, okay.
But normally, Aiken should create that automatically.
Okay. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, that's all I needed clarity on. Yeah.
So is there an Aiken command that like generate that will ask for the CBOR and it will throw in that stuff?
Harsha, can you share your screen again? I
Yes.
think
Yes.
in
Yes.
Aiken build, I think you already should have the hash. Can you
Okay, so
show that in a little better format?
Let me see. Oh, I'm just like my 1 second. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is how do does anyone maybe I should press this? No.
well, or go if you could bring this up, I can bring it up in code so I can get like
Or
a
just the blame maybe?
you're in the well you're in the GitHub, so
Oh, you mean in this guy? Yeah, I can open, I think.
yeah, here you go. Now you've got
Is this 20? Oh, this is it. Yeah, I don't have.
yeah, you're already there. Asteria
Yeah.
2025. So now you can go into that folder on the command line.
Just I
And
think it should be. So that's the just the validator. But if you go into the Bluetooth.json file, That's the blueprint file. Here you should have it somewhere.
Like here, this one.
Exactly. And below there's the hash, and that should be the correct hash after you have applied all parameters to the validator.
Okay, yeah. I think we applied all the parameters. So we don't see the parameters in this .json. Okay. Or
Yeah,
do
if you
we?
don't see them, I think you have applied all of them.
Okay. Oh, so as soon as we apply, this one vanishes, is it? The parameters
I
section.
think so, not
Okay.
completely sure.
That's right. That's correct.
Okay.
Maybe you have applied them in that one file above, in that palette blueprint.
It's the step where you convert it afterwards, I believe. Maybe maybe you never ran that command, I'm not sure. With it within Akin. Is that right? Where you convert the Plutus?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Um Hang on. I'll just get that clear in my head. Yeah, so I thought after you apply the parameters within using Akin, you run a command that converts the blueprint and it changes the Plutus.json file because then it removes the validators. Um, I'm sure I was working on. I'm sure I was looking at a PBBL course only a day or two ago where that was a step, but I could be wrong.
Oh, and then it maybe creates that validator file Asha was showing first.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, if you have that validator file, you should be able to derive the hash with Cardano CLI. I
Okay.
think it's something like Cardano CLI convey transaction policy ID. I think that's the command.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna have to drop out soon anyway, so I'll from my point of view, I'm okay for the day.
Andrew, will we see you tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be there
Okay,
tomorrow.
cool. Okay, cool.
Did we set a time definite for tomorrow? Because I said I think
Uh,
I'm available anytime after 3:30 UTC. I'm not sure.
let's make it 3:30 UTC then.
Okay, brilliant.
3:30 UTC is on. Harsha, that's good for you. That's 10:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, perfect. And I will put that down in our Discord, 15:30 UCC tomorrow. Excellent.
Amazing. I mean, guys, like we were all excited about this at the beginning for different reasons, but my expectations are multiply exceeded. I don't have the language for it. Just the
Nice.
yeah, hearing the control you guys have over these ideas and the questions you're asking, it couldn't be better than this. Really, really cool. Thank you.
I didn't think Harsha could do it. I couldn't think he could do it. I was like, no, he's not gonna be able to do it. But he does it. He does
It's awesome. It's really awesome.
it. It has been fun. It's been messy, like real learning fun. And these, uh, yeah, it's super great to hear Adrian helping us, and like this is a great format. I'm looking forward to having these meetings going forward. especially for all the different projects that we'll have. It's really cool to listen to what Martin is doing. It's really cool to hear like people go through their things. I think that's why it's a part of that very stable sort of format.
Yep,
Um,
I agree.
and it's yeah, it's a cool thing. Yeah, so yeah, kudos.
Well, and like part of where I'm coming from is like I can trace back. I remember asking the questions that you guys asked. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh, right.
they're right. I remember what happened like when I had that question and was stuck right there, and I know what follows that. It's so damn exciting. It's so cool.
And I think this is the sort of to take a little side step over to sort of learning, teaching, learning, like in this iterative learning process where the sophomores teach the freshmen and that peer to peer learning, um, like there is a thrill about you know helping your buddy or seeing that they are in the same spot and being able to help them and being helped, not from an expert or somebody that's just like, oh, it's just dead to them, but something that's very alive, like those wounds that we are
Yeah.
suffering by struggling and the muscles that we're making. We're like, oh no, that's a real, it's very live, active, very human thing. Or very intelligence. It's like we're thinking, we're using our intelligence,
Yeah.
and it's a very energetic, generative. It's very generative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool.
Cool. Cool. Well, so should we figure out how we're going to open this faucet?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this has to be a goal and it has to be treated with the urgency, Newman, like that you suggested. And I appreciate the candor, but also just your thank you just for your gentle approach to hard things. But so the thing blocking us now is before we can put a treasury on Andamio, we have to agree on what the prerequisites are. So,
Uh,
and we can do that. We could do the technical part, but first that question has to be answered. And so I see that prerequisite could draw on any number of things, and there's at least three sources, right? One is we could say that there are one or more PPBL modules that are a prerequisite. We could say that there's one or more Aiken PBL modules. And maybe you guys want to make a custom Asteria dev course with a module, and you can choose from any of those options or suggest other ones, right? Now, the more complicated we make it, the more bureaucracy we got to get through, right? Like if you say there's 8 modules as prerequisite, that means that everybody has to complete those 8 modules and has to go through that process of doing assignments and getting them approved, right? Ultimately, that's where the value of these credentials come from. Like that inefficiency is where that social reputation value is going to be captured. But in the short term, in terms of opening up the faucet, we might also want to just say, hey, look, you guys are going to be the stewards of a course about this project. And then there's going to be one assignment that people have to do just to get their entry ticket in. That's totally fine if you decide that. But if you want there to be, other prerequisites from existing courses, that's totally acceptable too. So yeah, what questions does that raise for you, and what are some initial thoughts?
Andrew, Harsha.
Oh, I I kind of like I feel like I lost the discussion a little bit.
Sure.
I was thinking about
The-
something else. Sorry, sorry.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take a swing at it. So the prerequisites, and that's a key component in these projects. And we are building a project like that ultimately is, and it's the third phase of this proposal that we're working under. Um, and we could make for the next for the students sort of I had some verbiage for it. I think we were like the pioneers, and that like the the people that came before us, I guess, would be the settlers, or like, so there's a pioneer, but I like the idea of a steward, a course, and a so my question to you, James, is, are we making this for ourselves or for the people coming later? And then the follow-up is it, how hard is it to change those prereqs? I mean,
Great.
can you have a, yeah, okay, those are the
Yep.
two.
That's amazing. So right, I think for now it's safe to build just for yourselves, right?
Right.
And so here's the kind of the shortest way into things is just to say, hey, there's going to be a private course that only you guys are going to have that link in the first place, right? You guys just have to go confirm a single assignment, and it doesn't even have to be anything, right? Hey, I vouch for you, you vouch for me. That's the credential. We could keep it that simple. And if we start like that, we can save the question of building for the future for later. And if we change the prerequisite in the future, currently it's not as easy as we eventually want it to be, but it's 100% doable. And that'll actually inform some features that Adrian and Nelson and I have been talking about in the first place.
Well, I mean, we've all done the Plutus PBL. I don't know if Emmanuel has, but I do know that he's done some Aiken modules. Um, I, I think I think it's definitely something for us to, the question of prereqs for the future. Again, and I think I have a pretty good mental model of what it means, because there's this connection between the courses and the individual course modules with our project, with what we're learning in Asteria. I know that Andrew had opened the PBL and was going through it, in order to sort of figure out, and that's what we want. That's what we want. So that they've taken the course and now they build a project and they go back to their reference, and it's like, oh, I learned this, and then they strengthen that muscle, that thinking muscle that they discovered in the prereqs. And prereqs is also it's also sort of the light guidebook. It doesn't lay out a plan, but it says, hey, it's like wink, wink, hint, hint, hint. These are the things that you're gonna need on this as you go through the trail through the forest. Like on this trail, you're gonna need these supplies. If you don't have these supplies, you're not gonna be able to make them. If you don't know how to work with those validators and know the script purpose, and be able to like get the hash and figure out the prefix for the so and so, all that sort of stuff, which are in those PBL and Aiken courses. It directs you, and as people look and they'll say, oh, I've taken those courses, oh, maybe I can do this project if it's exciting.
And
um
also,
yeah.
is there a way to start a project? Say there are like a group of people who have built trust and they don't need prereqs. They just need to make sure that everyone has completed a task and get paid. Is there a way to like do that kind of stuff through Andamio?
Oh.
So not yet. That's a feature that needs to be built, right? Okay, we just want direct access to the project. Adrian, can you imagine what would be the lightest weight design we could give to a prereq?
Yeah, I think you already said it. Having one course with one assignment, and yeah, only the course creators can approve that assignment.
Oh, you're my friend. Yep, you passed. Great. Let's go.
Exactly. Maybe you do something funny and say, right? Your motivation.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
And it is those prereqs are like a course is it's just because it's going to go on chain and it's like a log, like okay, it's a very clear in this kind of in our space where it's sort of membership isn't necessarily clear, like having a private course that's just the four of us, uh these I think that's a pretty valid
Yeah.
thing
Vouching,
because
I mean, right? Like
yeah, it's a
any of
vouch.
like
Yeah.
web of trust language, all this stuff, right? Like the vouch is a valid credential in itself.
Yeah.
And maybe we want to build some UI that does that, right? Like we have this on-chain concept of an assignment. That doesn't mean it has to look like a school assignment every time, right? The
Right.
assignment could be collect the badge from Newman.
Yeah, it's just the assignment is make the commitment to do this thing.
Yeah.
And that's and what we've done is the proposal. That's sort of our ticket to say, okay, we put our names to this and we made the commitment on this proposal. And so the proposal could have, that there's a private course, and a course is a module, is an assignment, but it could be all of one. It's just a very simple course to establish it. And it could be, I don't know, there could be like some contact information or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Whatever you
think we're
want to
getting to it.
collect. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like what would be valid to collect at the beginning of a journey, like it could be some goal setting type of stuff. Um, it could be, what I expect to learn or what I think will be the challenges. And then at the end, I don't know if there would be a checkout. That'd be this is kind of a check-in type of thing. But anyway, yeah, I think that would be cool.
You are designing a product right now. This is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
This is cool.
There you go.
Okay, so I have a direction that I'd like to extend to this conversation, but first, any other clarifying questions about the mental model we're starting to build here? So remember going back to when the Asteria project first started coming together, we we had to, especially with people who were not participating in it, we had to work a little bit of overtime just to get to the point where we were able to describe whether we were talking about a course or a project. Well, it's a project that might be used in a course as the project that the course is about, right? What don't you understand? Right. And so, but now we have a chance to kind of revisit that question. And for me, this is really interesting because, right, you guys are building a project for learning right now, right? And and it's likely that the Asteria work you're doing is going to have some relevance to some future course that is built. That's really exciting. And so how should we see this, right? Because maybe the move here is that the prerequisite that we have to define should actually be something more general towards like building course material at Gimbalabs. And then we take it off of your plate to try to figure out like what the prereq for this little project should be. And we just say that this Asteria project is the first of what we hope will be many projects that are keeping their eyes on future learning goals and that kind of applicability. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
So,
I
so
know that Harsha, yeah, go.
no, so so are you saying all the work or the courses would be doing, or at least modules in the courses would be doing, would have high level labels like front end or back end or running a node and stuff like that, and anyone can pick any of these and use them as prerequisites? Am I getting it right?
Say that one more time. I want to make sure I'm getting it.
So right now, our prerequisites say do this course or do this module from a specific course. But there could be other courses which kind of cover the same topics, like say front-end development for Cardano or running a node for Cardano. So can the prerequisites be swapped if the learning is the same?
Hmm.
Right.
So
Ye-
you're talking about just as clarifying, Harsha, like a more generalized category of prerequisite as opposed to an
Yeah,
individual module. It's like, PBL course 102, create a transaction, um, or you know
Aiken
another
or
another
Aiken.
yeah, or another course, yeah,
Yeah,
or another.
yeah, like say for example, PPBL 205 basically covers smart contracts and stuff like that, but Aiken also does the same. So can one of these be used instead of the other, or
Yes. I mean, that's ultimately our goal is flexibility both ways, right? Like anything that serves as a valid prerequisite should be reusable. That's one. And then number two, there should be multiple pathways in, right? So it's like we want eventually to have that many to many relationship.
Well, it gives me some thought about, okay, uh, collecting those supporting, prerequisites. Like, oh, this should be a prerequisite if you want to go on, building out or refactoring or building this area. Uh, uh, and I want to start bringing in, like, build on top of these validators, or build a head for this headless dApp
Hmm.
of Asteria.
Hmm.
Um, like, if you want to create another, sometimes I call it a mod or a skin. It's like, if you want to skin Asteria, if you want to build on this headless dApp, then these are the things that you will need to know.
Hmm.
And prerequisites aren't like, these are the things that you need to start the journey, not necessarily that you'll learn at the end of it. Um, these are
Exactly.
the these are the muscles that you will be exercising. So if you have these concepts and you want to practice, you know, to use the gym analogy, you're gonna have to know how to be safe, lifting on the bar, or I don't know that much about the gym.
Well, okay. So, but yeah, running with that idea for just a second, right? Like, is the prerequisite to contributing to this project, the Asteria project you guys working on right now? Which of these two prerequisites feels more relevant to you? Would you
Okay.
say
Okay.
A, that having background in TypeScript and Next.js is more important? Or would you say B, that, being willing to hack and fail and talk about what I'm learning with my peers is more important?
Yeah,
That
the
might be too much
latter.
of
I
a lead.
mean,
That might be too much of a leading
well,
question.
well,
Yeah, yeah.
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I do think, but it is. uh, I think it could be really specific, and it's sort of the thing that I'm learning. It's just like, as a student learning target, um, I can clone a repo and run npm install, npm run dev. If you can't do that, you're going to have a hard time.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if
very
you
nice.
like, that's a the super fundamental skill, um, that frankly was really opaque to me. It just, if I didn't learn it, I wasn't it wasn't a it was awkward. But now it's second nature. It's very, very simple.
So there's a handful
Even
of
though,
things that, yeah, you wouldn't want to, you don't want to teach somebody how to install NPM.
no,
You
no,
want them to
it's a
show up ready with
pre
that.
yes, yes, it's a pre, like, and that's sort of the, you know um thinking about other course catalogs, back from college. It's like, oh, you've got to, in order to take this 300 level course, you have to take the 100 and 200 level course. I'm thinking
Right.
about Udemy, where it's just like, yeah, if you don't know, basic web building, or if you don't know JavaScript in this TypeScript course, we're not going to go all the way back. Or there's a omnibus, big word for just very general,
Yeah.
basic, friendly, like you don't need to know anything. And then sometimes they lie, they're like, well, you don't need to know this, but if you get in there and then immediately that's just all over the place, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I
I mean, to be
think we're
fair, I've never
feeling,
gotten a job without lying, Newman.
Wait,
oh my
when are you
goodness.
going to start telling us the truth? Have we heard that?
I take back all the nice things I said
Yeah.
about you. No, no, no. No, no, no. That's how it's done. That's just how it's done. And God bless it. I think we were too yeah. Sometimes you have to be thrown into the deeper water, and it's just like, oh, this is the thing that has to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. But as long as we're reasonable about those things, um, and kind of understand the difference between the prerequisite and the post expectation,
Hmm.
um, because it's not, these aren't the targets, but they are the things that start you. So a student learning target and a student learning, you know, expect prerequisite. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's targets and prerequisites, and there are projects that practice and don't do the heavy lifting of teaching. They're just more like recipes or scaffolds. Um, and then there are courses that are more heavily scaffold and do the explanation. Uh, yeah, and teach the processes that you're going to use when you build out a thing. It's like doing things for the first time. So, yeah, yeah. Course, do something for the first time and learn it, quote unquote, learn it. Project is something where it's something that you already know, but you need to practice it, apply it, integrate it, connect it with all sorts of other different things that you've learned to make it usable, practical, applicable, for lack of a better term, beautiful or graceful,
Hmm.
uh, to instill confidence and to increase your identification. It's just like, oh yeah, I took the course, but I don't really blah blah blah. But then if you build out a thing, you're like, oh no, actually, it turns out I am I can figure out something in Aiken, or I can
Mm.
uh, make a blueprint, or follow this pattern. Um, I think that identity thing fits in with this as we collect these prereqs and stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, okay. So how do you guys feel about, well, yeah, how much support do you want? Like, how would you guys feel about, based on what you understand so far, defining the prerequisites for this project within the scope of this team? And how much support can I give to like help you get there if you're not comfortable doing that?
Like support in terms of setting up like the whole contribution thing or like the
Just
technical.
determining what the prereqs should be. Yeah,
Oh,
on
the
the
prereqs.
technical side, like obviously I have to help guide you through that and all that and show you that for the first time.
Well, I think in the immediate, like right now, I think we can build a private course that just says, the prereq is I commit to doing this. Um, I think that's the most necessary. We could brainstorm a little bit and say, yeah, I commit to the project, but I commit to weekly meetings. I commit to joining open spaces. It's mostly about commitments. We could say, you know,
But commitments are not prerequisites, no, because we have a
that's
separate
true.
commitments, I think, like where you actually commit to doing like a task and moving forward.
Or, well, yeah, it might be just like terminology. Like a prerequisite is I have several hours a week to dedicate it, and that was something that we put down in the in the resources. It sort of matches up to the resources section of our proposal. Um, like I and it's mostly time and resource.
If we call the course something like Asteria Project Membership, recognizing that it has this very small audience, is that okay?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Right. A vouching course for
I like it.
members of GL Asteria Project. Just leave it like that for now. We'll keep it hidden for now. That's fine. Okay. And we'll add a single module, right? Um, I'm not gonna overdo this, right? Let's
Sure, sure.
right,
I
let's
was looking for a graphic.
oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Vouch for each other. Yeah, and feel free to come back, and that's what I'll do. That's the next thing. Let's add both of you guys right away as contributors to the course. This is what allows you to go in and edit the content later.
Am I in there? Let's see.
And then we'll just have
Oh,
qualified or I am invited or whatever. Yep. Cool. One learning target, one module, one assignment. That's all we need. Okay. Now, as now contributors to this course, you guys can come in and add any number of modules in the future. If there's additional background stuff that you expect of people or you want them to have. But for now, this would be the quick way to get Harsha, Newman, Andrew, Emmanuel into the project.
So from our side, like what does vouching for each other translate to? Is there someone that has to accept it, or how does that work?
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is when we agree that this is sufficient, then I would put this course on chain, right? And I wouldn't even make myself a creator of it from the on-chain perspective. I would want to make you guys, okay?
yeah.
And then it's a matter of everybody needs to go in and commit to the assignment. When that's done, whoever has the on-chain creator role would approve that that's done. And that's all. Now the credential is issued to those people.
Nice. And it would show up as a can we do, I mean,
Just work
we're
through
kind of,
this. Yeah. Either one of you guys willing to be the voucher, the decider?
Harsha, are
Yeah, yeah,
you,
I can do it.
okay.
Do I have to mint a mainnet token for this? I tried yesterday,
That's,
but it didn't work.
Oh,
that's what I'm
really?
thinking. Yeah.
Oh, we got to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that
I don't know.
first. Well, yeah, so you need that
Let's,
mainnet token. Can you, I mean, and I have time right now. This is my priority
yeah.
is to continue rolling this out. Harsha, could you share screen and let's troubleshoot, get that working? Yeah, Martin.
I will rejoin this meeting just because I'll use the other laptop. There's no
Sure.
mainnet wallet on my. Give me 2 minutes. I'll rejoin.
Good.
Cool.
James,
Yep.
you talked about meeting to get a mainnet token or get going on the instance from Game Changer.
That's right. Let's get you set up as well. Yeah. Do you have a token on mainnet yet?
No, but yeah, just we can do it tomorrow, but we can do it now as well.
Let's do it right now. Yeah, let's get this going. It's time.
My computer is actually ready. Maybe.
Yeah, you want to share first and then Harsha will run through it as well.
Sure. Share screen.
Yeah. I'm curious about this because when I'm when I go to the that page where it says mint your access token, it says my wallet is connected to Cardano pre-prod, and it doesn't appear that it is. It seems like to me it's connected to mainnet. So
Thank you. Yeah, thank
curious to
you.
see.
Early days, buggy stuff. And this is obviously we need to get this to the point where it's just like running Dandelion Light, where somebody can press one button and have a token.
Punch the button, man. I'm gonna go buy a hard drive and see if I can do it.
All right. So
No.
Martin's connected to his Discord account, needs a access token, tries to mint one, and what happens?
Mint.
Okay, so it does say pre-prod for you too. Okay.
Where? Oh, shoot. Wait, go
You
back.
didn't,
I missed that.
yeah, see connected to Cardano
Oh, that's a
pre-prod.
typo. Okay, let me fix that. Yep, that needs to be fixed.
Yes, I'm working. I'm working here, people.
That's
Doing it.
right. QA is happening.
What was I missed it.
There's just a typo on the page that you're looking at where it says your wallet is now connected to Cardano pre-prod.
Oh.
The,
I'm-
the the emperor has no clothes. Now we found out there's nothing automated here. It's just a word that somebody typed.
I
Uh,
I'm a little bit word blind. So yeah.
I know.
yeah, yeah,
Say,
you just punched
that's
the
why it's
button.
there. Same with me. That's why it still says pre-prod right there.
I'm
Uh-huh.
I'm actually a handicapped programmer, so yeah.
Oh,
Still says. All right, I'm putting in an issue for that one.
nice. Okay,
Great.
so let him know when he can
All right, but you can
if you
keep
click
going.
on the
Go ahead and mint that token.
Right?
and then what about this token name? Should I stick with my honey badgers from last time or
Oh, it's up to you,
um
but you are, I mean, if we are successful, this network's going to be running beyond our lifetimes. So this is your only chance to choose a name. It's immutable.
right. Yeah.
Adrian built a revolutionary name indexer that prevents duplication.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of a big deal, I think. Yeah.
Right.
And personally, I would rather have one of these than an ADA handle, but I'm partial, so you can't trust me.
This is
All right.
historic. I will be
Dun
known
dun
as
dun.
one of the first.
Love it.
Do I
Right. And
have?
so the fee here, what you're looking at, right? So the token name, that 1.228 ADA, that's going to be locked to uniquely reserve your name. That's a min UTXO. Reference credentials, same thing. This is where your credentials are going to be stored. And that 1.46 ADA, it's actually going to require a little bit more of a min UTXO as your credentials grow over time. The more credentials you have, the more space they take up on the blockchain, and therefore the greater the min UTXO. The Andamio network fee, we chose to set this at 5 ADA. So Andamio makes 5 ADA every time somebody mints a token. And then finally, just the standard transaction fee. You can see it's a little bit higher than the 0.17 you might pay for a simple transaction. We're at 0.43 for this one. Any questions about that cost breakdown?
Uh I don't have a question about that, but now I am sort of thinking about something else. Maybe could I break in here?
Of course.
This will, what about because right now I'm signed in with into uh Discord. So and so it's like the two parts. Does which one like are they different?
They are. Yeah, so the Discord actually because you know about this from the T3 app, right? So
Yeah,
T3 app comes with next auth,
right.
and the next auth option that we chose to use to get started is the Discord login.
Okay.
Um, I don't think we want to use that forever. And frankly, right, if people have a Web3 wallet that they're going to need anyway, wouldn't it be great if that's all you needed to log in?
Right. But as it is now, just to you've got an on-chain and off-chain. So our
Right.
off-chain, like browsing around, if you're not writing anything on-chain, you use this Discord OAuth MP3 app stuff, Discord, and then when you want to do something that requires a chain event, you're going to have that token.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Discord for Web 2 stuff, Andamio token for Web 3 stuff.
Oh, I see something.
There we go. All right, you are confirmed. So Martin, you will now have access. Now, the reason I need you to do that first is, can I share screen for a minute here?
Sure. Do I need to unshare?
Yeah, if you unshare, then I'll pull this up.
This is so exciting.
Oh, guys, thanks for sharing this. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. All right, I'm gonna jump over to an admin dashboard where now I can, and where is he? There he is.
Woohoo!
That's
Nice.
one of the first 15 or whatever. Um, I'm going to create the course on chain, and I needed the name of your access token. So let me make sure I'm getting the punctuation perfect right here. And you're going to be the owner of is this it? Game Changer DApp connector?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. There's no other Game Changer courses, right? Cool. So let's do it.
Wow.
This is not accurate. We switched over to a multi-sig to handle this transaction, and I haven't yet updated how the cost breakdown is calculated.
I was
Yeah.
because now I would say double check, please.
Yeah. Well, but it does cost, it's going to cost us from our multi-sig, it's like 30 ADA or so every time a course goes on chain. That's the
Okay,
cost of
so
the real estate.
before we go ahead, can we
it's
double check that this is
Yeah.
actually correct?
it's the total minus the additional payment, James.
Oh, it is? Okay. Okay. I'll fix
Yeah,
that.
we already figured it out in the tech
Thank you.
channel.
Thank you.
So
Game
that's
Changer DApp. It is this one, right?
okay. Is that where is that name somewhere? Yeah, I think that would be
Is this it though? I mean, I'm
yeah.
okay. See ya. Excuse me. So let's do that. So it's going to be once again Game Changer DApp connector. And these are
Okay.
all refundable. This is not like a non-refundable fee. If this course is taken down off the blockchain, we reclaim these deposits. And you said again, it's the additional payment minus the
Yeah, exact. The additional payment is just showing up because we are spending from the multisig wallet and not from your wallet you're connected with.
right. Yeah, that's right. So the way I calculate these costs, we basically, our API returns an unsigned transaction, a CBOR string. We deserialize that string. We look at the fees and the different inputs and the outputs. But then the way I was calculating it is just by looking at any UTXOs that are related to the connected wallet, we would ignore those. But that doesn't work with a multi-sig because none of these UTXOs are coming from my wallet. So I got to fix that. But in any case, in my in my wallet that I'm signing from now, there's actually no cost to me. It's all deducted from a multi-sig. So that's going to go up on chain. Same thing. We just got to wait for it to be confirmed.
I just minted my token.
Woo!
and exciting. But I typically don't capitalize the N. This time, randomly, I did, and I like it better. Yeah, I like it better.
Nice.
I like it better.
Wow. Yeah, this gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling for some
There he
reason.
is. Newman 5. He's in.
Yeah.
Just yeah, we all know what's going on behind the scenes, and it looks now so simple. Yeah.
That's the idea. And then eventually there's going to be whether it's a side chain or a Hydra head or a Laos validator, or you can fill in the blank there. Gradually, this thing is going to be running as fast as a Web 2 app, right, over the next few years. And we'll say, hey, I remember when it was just raw mainnet. Oh my God, that thing was so inefficient.
Nice.
Okay, so that course is minted. I can pass it back over to Martin now, because now you're going to have some other capabilities on that course. Most
Ooh.
importantly, finally, you're no longer going to see those annoying screens that say this course doesn't have a policy ID, so it can't be seen.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
You can finish your milestone reports.
I did. They were lenient
Oh,
with me.
good. Good. It's very kind.
So yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but most importantly, now if you navigate to, and you can go a few different directions, you can say the courses tab right there on this page. Right? You've got projects, prerequisites, and courses. There's kind of nested. You see how there's nested
Oh,
tab?
here.
Yeah. That's the UX is not final here. It gets the job done for now. There you go. You're the owner of this course. Beautiful.
Ooh.
And when you navigate to that course, there's going to be some extra features now. Okay, the course is published on Andamio. We have some bad spacing there. That looks better. Very nice.
Well, bad zooming.
And then for each of these modules, when you are ready, you can place these modules on chain so that people can earn a credential for them. Okay. Now you've got an assignment. Are you happy with the assignment for each of these?
Well, I would like to discuss how to best do that.
Great. Great. Yeah, and that's going to be like an emerging community of practice as other people really start to grapple with this question, right? Like what do I need this assignment to be if my goal is to mint a credential for somebody else, right?
Because,
Mhm.
yeah, module 201 is it's already advanced. But yeah, the question there is what is the letter on page 5, you know? It's like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
oh, do I
But
need to
that
grade it? Do I need
uh
to grade it or
so
do
you
I make it
do. You
automatic
do.
or
Yeah. So you as the course creator and responsible party for handing out credentials, you will have to review the commitments that people make.
Mhm.
So you don't want to give yourself too much grading to do. You need to come up with something where you can be like, all right, if somebody could
Yeah.
tell me the answer to this, or if somebody can, I mean, for me, there's nothing better than a link to a resource. If you pass me a link to a Git commit or to a Notion document, for me, that's the best thing, right? But what we've done is we've implemented a rich text editor where people can add stuff. You saw how Steve was able to upload a picture, for example. And this is another place where we're gradually going to find the sweet spot. And as we do, we're going to be able to publish documentation with best practices. I'm excited for like workshops 18 months from now, telling people what communities have learned about giving assignments and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, your editor is great compared to wisdom.courses. It's super
Oh,
tiny.
are we winning in that regard? That's good to hear.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nice. That's good. And that yeah, there's more to do there. I want to improve it, but yeah, I like how it feels typing content into it.
Yeah, the only thing is I work from Notion to keep it centralized.
Yeah,
So I was working with two sites at once. So having it in one was a little difficult, but then only copying only the pictures didn't copy. So
that was the only thing. Okay. No, that's great feedback. I'm really curious about that stuff.
I'm not sure if like if I would copy the whole Notion page and then I need to put the images in again. So
Right.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's also the link in my Notion could be that I used the wrong link. I've seen it work sometimes, but then it would be an image URL maybe. Yeah, maybe need some instruction on how to do that properly.
Right. Notion will display an image from an image URL,
Yeah.
but ours doesn't. Okay. That's a cool feature.
Well, I don't know if that's, I've seen something like that where it does copy, but then, yeah, if you copy the true image as an image, it's a little different, I think. I'm not sure how that works actually, but yeah, something to look into.
Um, so to what we're accomplishing right here, right? You can mint this credential on chain when you are ready. What happens when you do? Once you put this module on chain, there are three things you can no longer change. You can't change the number of the module. It's locked at 101. You can't change the text of the learning targets. Each of those statements will is immutably posted on the blockchain. And you can't change the name of the assignment. However, you can edit the content of the lessons, right? So the learning target says, I understand why Game Changer was built. That learning target should be immutable. But is it okay to change exactly how we teach somebody that? Yes, right? This assignment, go find this Game Changer code in the production DApp. That's going to immutably be the name of the assignment. So that's pointing to the expectation. But could you change the details of the assignment? Absolutely, right? Could you change which DApp you're pointing people to or that
Yeah.
QR code right there? Yes, you can. You just can't change the title, right? So our goals and the assignment name, those are immutable. The how we do things, that can be updated as you evolve. Any thoughts on
This
that?
is awesome. Well, it's important to know that because then you spend more time, just like Martin is saying. He's like, oh, well, I can't change them. Then I want to make sure and go through them with the team and really, then it does become, yeah, yeah, adds weight to it.
I agree. So if you go back to the course outline, when you're ready, what you'll do is it's a two-step process for now. There's a governance step and then there's the on-chain step. So the governance step for now, anybody can do it. Ready? Just open up this module, go down to the drop-down menu inside these module details, and click to expand the accordion.
Yeah.
And you see the draft where it says draft in the select menu. Let's approve it. This thing is ready for publishing. Now you can imagine a future where that's a governance decision where multiple people have to sign off on that. And that's where we're going. But for now, it's just you said as approved. And then once it's approved, it can be published. And you would press the green button, and this will fire off a transaction. Of course, you don't have to sign that transaction right now, so we can take a look without consequences.
Well,
Yeah.
this module has been reviewed by two Catalyst from people and has been seen by, I think, four people have already done the courses also on Wisdom.
Oh, great.
And I think this assignment, because it's so easy, the assignment is also, I think, correct. So I'm okay with
Hey, if
publishing.
you feel good, let's do it. That's awesome.
Yeah, on it, baby. Yeah. I mean, they look good to me. I understand why Game Changer was built. Okay, it says some history. I can find the Game Changer played in IDE. That's good. I understand the basic building blocks of a GC script. I can write a basic GC script, and then I think that's a great assignment. Go and find GC code and in a D app. Yeah, I love these. I want to do this. I'm gonna do this course. How do I find it?
You should. Mint.
And you guys have got me excited. Here we go.
All right, so you see the cost of this one. We need 2.73 ADA for the min UTXO to lock these learning targets on chain. And that's the cost of the storage space on the blockchain. Transaction fee is 3 or 4 times the lowest fee, whatever. And if you ever decide to take this module down from the blockchain, that min UTXO would be refunded to you.
Hmm.
James, what does it mean to take down the course? If something's on chain, isn't it immutable?
It is. Okay. And now you see, I'm so glad you guys are building with the Asteria stuff because now we have shared language to understand how all this stuff works.
Fair enough.
You recognize that datum is stored in a UTXO, right?
Hmm.
And a UTXO can be spent.
Correct.
So even though there's an immutable record that that UTXO and that datum were once there, once the UTXO is spent, that datum is no longer like actively available to be consumed. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
when we talk about taking a module off the blockchain, we're talking about spending the UTXO that has in it the learning targets.
Okay. Okay.
And you can
As in
go
the datum.
and actually, Martin, can you just drop for us the transaction hash for the transaction
Oh,
you just did, and or even open
yes.
it up in Cardano scan? Can we look at that together?
Yeah, just open it. Yeah, just open it real quick.
How do I do that?
If you can open your Eternal wallet and see your last transaction, we'll just
Oh, if you want, you can stop sharing if
yeah,
you
yeah. While you get
because
to, we just want to get to Cardano scan and look at this
Oh,
transaction.
my wallet is full of scam tokens, so don't worry.
That just means you're an OG. That's fine. So yeah, if you go to your transactions, the most recent one, right? This one right here, and let's open that up. And then transaction ID, just click on that and it should open in Cardano scan. Oh, or whatever. Can we
Help me
inspect the
out.
datum?
thanks, Phil.
I'm lost. I'm
Yeah,
used to.
I don't know how to explore the data. It must be here, but let's look at the outputs, see if we can find it. So one
Hmm.
of the outputs here, look
Sure.
at the index one. We minted a token with the name 101,
Right.
right? That's the module. So this is the UTXO in question, but is there a way to inspect the datum? I'm not sure. And
Are we
rather,
there?
or you could try to click through, but maybe can we just copy this transaction hash and bring it over to Cardano scan? I don't feel like learning ADA stat right now.
Yeah, you're so right.
So the module is a token, but the learning targets are the datum. Is that what it is?
Yes, the
Okay.
module number is the token name.
Okay. Okay.
Every module in the same course is going to have the same policy ID,
Okay.
right? And now let's look at the UTXOs for this transaction. Let's look at the
Wow.
outputs. Let's look at the second output, right? The one with the 101 token.
Outputs.
Yeah, underneath where it says two addresses down below. Keep going. Yep,
Oh,
there's the
okay.
outputs. The second one,
This one.
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
You notice how that one over there on the right-hand side has the 101 token. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then at the end of this address, you see it says A507 at the end of the address, and then there's the blue circle
yeah.
at the other,
No, the other side.
the right-hand end.
Oh, more
That one.
blue circle.
Click on that guy. Here's the
Ah,
datum. Let's inspect the datum.
Oh
geez.
man.
And here are the learning targets. There they are. Now they're strings, right? They're hex strings.
Okay.
But
So
four
wacky,
nine
man.
49 is I, 20 is space, and 756E64 is can, maybe? I don't
Yes, man.
know. Right? So there's your
And
string,
look,
right?
they
And
all.
you've got bytes. 3 1 is index one. So you've got learning target 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here.
So
Very
X is right.
Neo like what you just did.
Reading the
Uh-huh.
matrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully, right, if you guys have been working on Asteria, maybe this looks incrementally more familiar.
Yeah, definitely.
The UTXOs that hold this datum are being stored in the wallet that we connect to Andamio.
Oh,
Is great question. This UTXO is stored at a validator address.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
And Adrian's here. You if you have questions for the architect of this system, we can ask him right now. But he built several different interacting validators, and this one we call it the module reference validator.
uh-huh.
Not sure if we should share all our secret sauce.
That's good. That when we get to that point, we know that we're learning something valuable. That's really, really awesome.
There there are there are a lot of dexes with all sorts of interesting stuff, and a lot of it's right, just like incremental improvements. I truly believe that Adrian is driving a level jump in what Cardano can do. It's crazy. There's not many other applications like this out there. And
Mm.
I know I'm proud of it, but like I'm serious. Like I haven't seen anything else like this.
Yeah, I just spoken with a other guy earlier who also had like a new way of interacting with dApps or with contracts to make dApps work so that everything is peer-to-peer and not like centralized.
That's cool.
Because yeah, that's basically you're copying the account model into a UTXO model, which is not good for your contention. You just want to do everything not via central things because you don't have to with Cardano. So
Jingles and I have a call with the makers of an Ethereum wallet who want to bridge to Cardano next week, and I really don't know what to expect.
hmm.
Going to be interesting to hear what their where their questions are and how much sense we can get transactions to make for them.
So different.
But that's the story basically. Okay, so now when somebody takes this course, number one, they'll be able to see the assignments like they weren't before. And number two, now that Module 101 is published, people are going to be able to submit this assignment. And we got to work on our documentation to help people do that. I don't think people are going to be flowing in quickly in these early days, right? But just pay attention for that. We don't yet have any notifications built. So it's up to you to check your course page as assignment commitments come through.
Hmm.
But yeah, by the end of the year, we'll have a robust set of notifications to ease the burden a little bit.
Yeah, we need decentralized communication for this as well. Something block.
Noster, the Noster is built in, and there's a lot more things we can do with it. And that's like going back to the Asteria work once again. Once you guys have the Asteria game working, there's many things we could do next, but that's one thing I've been thinking about is like, could we introduce a social feature built on this other tool called Nostr, which is, it's the decentralized infrastructure for new social networks. Um, and that could be another interesting thing to study.
With all the nastiness of all the centralized systems at the moment, what's going on is like, I can't wait to get all this stuff working.
We've been sitting in, meetings with as many people as showed up today, right? 6 people, 12 people, some days maybe 24 people, but there's a lot of people out there who are starting to ask the questions that brought us together, and it's going to be pretty cool if we can have some nice spaces as more people get fed up enough to
Yeah,
start wondering
exactly.
what they can do.
You feel that the need for, should we call them normies? To people who are working blockchain, they feel like I need to do something. So you have solutions now.
My mom surprised me over the holidays. She was like, Man, I would much rather have a Cardano wallet than a password manager. I was like, all right, Ma, like that's pretty good.
Yeah, things turning around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we all knew it was a great idea. Just takes so much.
Much harder than we thought it would be. And here we are. Um, so process is the same on Harsha's side. You want to take the reins, Harsha?
Oh, I minted the token. It's just that all my ADA was locked in one UTXO and then there was no collateral. That's why it was rejecting.
Yes, yes. We've all been there. Nice. All right, let's get this course set up. So I'll share screen once again. Right, so published courses, you can now see Game Changer dApp connector is here. It has an NFT policy ID associated with it. And this is another thing that's beautiful about the system that Adrian designed is this is really all we need to know about the course. Armed with this single NFT, we can then access all of the other information we need and all of the interacting validators that make this whole thing work. So it's pretty cool. And what's already implemented is that in the URL of a project, this Treasury NFT is featured. We haven't made this change yet, but soon we're going to transition from courses having a course code in their URL to having a course NFT in their URL. And the idea here is that for content to be public on the Andamio platform, people will have to mint a course NFT. And that's just part of the business model, right? Anybody can go and they can start building a course, but one of the ways Andamio will generate revenue is by making sure that people create the on-chain instance. So let's do that for this new course we just created. Refreshing just to see. There he is. G0, capital Z. And we're going to make you the owner of this new, shoot, what do we call it? Asteria project membership, the vouching course, right? We'll wait for that to confirm and then hand it back to Harsha. Newman, can I add you as a creator to this course as well so you could vouch for people? Oh, you're muted, but
Man, I've been muted this whole time.
is that cool?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right. Access token. So now I'm going to add a course creator. Oh, but I need the policy ID of that new course. So Asteria Project membership has this policy ID. We're going to add here Newman 5.
Yeah.
Even this is not really accurate. This is a pretty inexpensive transaction.
Mainnet.
Mainnet, it's real.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Now you'll be added. So now both of you, if you navigate to the dashboard, and maybe Harsha, you can lead on this one.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Huh. I am scared of pressing buttons, but are you
So,
able to see my screen?
Requesting. Yeah, we could see
yeah.
Discord and that scary warning. Zoom. Oh, I guess it's just that we're recording right now. So
Okay. Let's get here. I'll just move this aside. Oh, it doesn't even move. So I recently heard about like the Zoom scam where someone like sent malware through Zoom
Oh,
permissions. So I'm just like
yeah,
scared.
that makes sense. That makes total
I'll just put this aside for now. Mm, Okay. Um,
So right
my
here in front of you,
dashboard, right?
yeah, you're already there. And you could view this from right here, choosing courses.
I see.
And I think,
Contributor
well,
or
no, it's creator courses, but because we just created it, you might have to refresh the page
okay.
to load this data.
Second. No,
Hmm. Maybe sign back in.
I did sign back in.
Connected correctly. All right. Can you go to on this is a
Oh,
bug, and this is actually really helpful to me to know that this is happening. Can you go to Andamio Studio instead on the left-hand side? Okay, so we see it here. Let's just access it that way for now. All right, we see it's on
Yeah.
sheet. For some reason, it's not showing up in your dashboard. Okay. You can see the spacing is all sorts of wonky, but how do you guys feel? Let's make a governance decision right now. For
yeah, yeah.
now, to get you two guys, Andrew and Emmanuel, into the project.
And can I directly add people or only they can add themselves?
Okay, great question. At this moment, you can add people via the approved contributors tab right here.
Mm. Oh,
Okay. But when you do, you're only adding Web 2 access for them.
okay, okay.
Okay. If you want them to have the on-chain ability to approve and deny assignments or to mint new modules, you'll have to ask me to do that.
Okay.
Right? Or anybody on the Andamio team. We're all in the multi-sig and we can do that. That's gonna be self-service in a future release, but for now, we it's one of those cases where we feel like 95% safe, like we've got it figured out, but we don't want to risk releasing that with the 5% we're not sure about.
Just nature terms. Okay.
Hmm.
So is this checking for like Discord names or
Discord
what?
name. And you should be able to find it. I think it
Yeah.
takes at least 3 letters, maybe, or maybe is it a
It said
lowercase
two.
n?
It
It did.
oh like that.
Might be lowercase.
No, it's uppercase.
Lowercase, I see.
I don't
Nature
know.
terms. Oh, there it is.
It is. Oh, interesting.
Something
Okay.
went wrong. Oh, you know what? It may be that you're not the owner. Okay. So
Oh,
you
I see, I
can't,
see.
right, right. I'm the owner of the course. I'm the only one that can add additional contributors. Right. But let's just for fun, for now, let's leave those guys out from this role so they can play the student role. Right. So you guys will have your teacher hat and you'll also be issuing credentials for yourself, right? Like you'll submit an assignment that you can also approve. But let's have Andrew and Emmanuel just access this course as learners, do this one assignment you guys approve just to kind of see how that flow works.
Do the assignment as in click on this and do it? Or
Well, yeah, so you're in the studio right now, right?
oh,
So there's
okay.
going to be a public view of this course. It's just the same URL without the word studio. This course is not going to show up on the public page because if you go to the settings, which are where? Oh, I guess and only I have access to the course settings as well. But yeah, if you go right there, you'll see the public version. There it is. And we haven't written an introduction
Oh,
yet.
you're right,
There's
you're
no
right.
text there. And there's no assignment or lessons published, so there's nothing to really see.
Okay.
So in our case, how do we use this? Like how will Andrew and Emmanuel, like, what do they do?
They need to go to the assignment.
Oh, and okay.
Yeah, and once we get that credential or that sort of signif that prerequisite, then we should be able to uh be then we'll have access to the treasury, or we'll have access to other assignments that will unlock those ADA. Is that sort of the
Right.
idea?
So here I'm guessing there'll just be like some form of a
You know
submit
what?
button.
Actually, let's look at the Getting Started with Gimbalabs course so you can get a full picture of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Getting
So
started.
go to, yep, there it is. That's one place to get. And so here, this course is actually already published on chain. You can see up at the top of the page that it
Oh,
has a
sorry.
course policy ID.
Mm-hmm.
However, before you can commit to an
Oh, shit.
assignment, you need to, ooh, that's a broken link. It should say mainnet. You need to connect your wallet.
Oh,
And then once your wallet is connected, there's the big green button, enroll in this course. And just like any transaction, there's going to be a fee for this one.
mm-hmm.
But part of this fee is a refundable min UTXO that you'll get back. Why is it freezing up? Can you refresh the page one time and try that again? Oh, you don't have enough funds in the wallet.
I thought UTXO.
5. Yeah.
I have
So
5 and 3. Okay, got it. I'll just
yeah,
send more funds.
thanks.
I'll stop sharing for 2 seconds.
Sure, sure.
All right, I can share for I'm following along.
Yes. All right. So you just enrolled in this course,
Hey, I'm in the course, and then it says PX pending up here.
right?
Congrats, you're enrolled. Okay.
So now eventually you will leave the course, and that's how you'll claim your credentials. But we're here to earn some credentials. So you can go straight to the
Ah,
assignment for now.
join Gimbalabs open spaces. Here's the link to the Gimbalabs open. Share evidence. I'm gonna do like
Yep. And here's where if this was a fully fleshed out assignment, it's our job to give you clear expectations for what you should be typing into this box. Right?
what actually I can do. Look how
That's
what?
cool. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, this one's not working. That's funny.
Oh, it did a minute ago. Why did it work before? Uh,
Oh,
what happened?
there it comes. And it should do, if I just do TD, it'll give me my full thing. There we go. And
So what's
how
going
about
to
that?
happen here is, yeah, when you're ready, you lock your evidence. Right? And this is going to stop you from editing it. And it's going to turn your written evidence into a hash. And that hash E602 is going to go on chain.
Nice. And then this will go in, and I'll create an assignment.
Now you'll commit. Now you'll make this commitment.
It should be. There we go.
Cool. And now I'm going to be able to vouch for you. I'll show you what it looks like from the teacher
Yeah.
perspective as soon as we see
Okay,
this
I'll stop.
confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Either way.
Still syncing. This got a little spinny. Oh yeah, it's telling me all over here, here, and here.
Is it over?
Transactions.
I don't know. Is it overkill? I don't know.
No, it's good. It's good. Could also look down in my wallet. But yeah, this is cool. Okay,
All right, so now you're
pending
pending
approval.
approval. Now you're waiting for a teacher to say that you completed the assignment. So I'll show you what that looks like from my side. All right, I'm going to go to my dashboard where I can see that getting started at Gimbalabs is one of my courses. And if I go to assignment commitments, I can see that these are Steve from the other day.
Nice.
Here's Newman. And look, there's his evidence right there that he just shared. And there's the on-chain hash. And if I wanted to really do my diligence, I would make sure that indeed this evidence produces this evidence hash. For now, I'm gonna just trust, okay, this is good enough, right? But if I wanted to double check that, I could.
Yeah.
I'll accept this assignment. I'm actually going to earn a half an ADA for accepting this assignment. And the reason is that, right, Newman put the evidence on chain in a UTXO with a min UTXO. I'm actually burning that UTXO, so I actually get the delta there. But
Nice.
we didn't do that by design. This is just because of how Cardano works, but it's kind of cool, right? Like the learner pays 50 cents and the teacher gets 50
Yeah.
cents,
Little apple on the desk, a little
you
apple on
know,
the desk there.
kind of nice.
Hmm. Yeah, that's yeah, this is a yeah, big day.
Thanks for being here for it. So this is going to go through and then it's gonna have an approved state on it. And so basically, and actually here, I'll show you guys this too. Here's our like live API. Nelson built this using Swagger. And so we can actually look at what our API is returning, right? And so if I look at the
Oh,
aggregate user info now for Newman 5, what will I see?
yeah.
Right? I will see that you are enrolled in this ongoing course,
Oh, that's so badass.
right? Later, when you complete the course, let me show you what Steve's looks like. Right, same policy ID, 7BB38, but he
Yeah.
unenrolled in the course with these completed assignments, and now those are on what we call his global state.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
This is the on-chain stuff that allows us to validate that somebody's allowed to join a project.
Ah, I see. So those become the credentials, prerequisite credentials for other courses. You've completed those assignments. That's how granular. Or you can go by the policies. Like, oh, if you
Oh,
enrolled in this course,
have you ever been in this course? Sure. Right. Or have you ever
yeah,
been in this course and did you complete the right assignments? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And because of the way Cardano works, remember, Andamio is using this data to gate access to projects, but nothing is stopping anybody else from building a third-party app that we have no control of that gives people rights and privileges for data they hold here or
What?
for their completed projects, right?
That is awesome.
Right,
That is awesome. Okay, yeah, I get that now.
right.
Um, that makes it live, that makes it really cool. Yeah, yeah. So you're basically joining a network of people that have completed these things, and that network is not just verbal or ephemeral. It's on Cardano mainnet.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
And say for example, we complete a task. Say there is a task that needs prerequisites, but we completed the prerequisites and also the task. So if someone is creating a course, can they use the task as the prerequisite or only
Yes,
courses
they
at this moment?
can. Yes,
Okay,
they
perfect,
can.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's not yet in the UI. So on chain, the answer is yes. In the front end, we haven't yet implemented that, but
Okay,
you
okay.
can see how exciting that will be. And right here, Steve already jumped into a project, and this is the task where he was reimbursed for traveling to the DREP debate.
There it is. Yeah, nice.
Right? And it's right here. It looks so simple. Well, it's only a few lines of stuff, but think about what had to happen in
Hmm.
order to get this, right? The only way a token holder could have this policy ID is if they were validated for by a creator of this course. And that's where the emergent reputation and identity comes from, right?
Right.
Only way to have this policy ID right here in my completed courses is to have been approved in an assignment by somebody running that course.
So what is the advantage for a course creator to like put in the effort to like review everyone's work? Because that is a lot of time and effort. So I'm just curious.
That's exactly.
Well, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, I mean, I think that that's why, then the value pump is so that then when people enroll in courses, they can you can have a course that pays, and that then the instructor has a mechanism for pulling that value out, because that's the thing. I don't know if that's how it works, but I can imagine.
We've been trying to figure out, right? Like, should there be a mechanism for course creators to get paid for courses? And currently the answer is no, other than that little tip I just got. I got 50 cents for approving Newman's assignment, right? And I guess if that happened 1,000 times, that would be 500 data. That'd be great. Um, but the real thing here is, and this is where our public storytelling is about to start, right? There's an early reputation. Andamio is another LMS on Cardano, but that's really not the story because it is expensive. Why would I spend all this time and effort to approve people like this? Because the point is to get people prerequisites so that they can join me in the projects I want to do. And this is really the ultimate reason for now. We're going to discover other reasons by putting this out into the world. But the ultimate reason for now is, hey, we need people to contribute to the Asteria project, right?
Mhm.
I'm willing to do this much work to get a valuable contributor to that project.
And then there's a pathway for that's open and auditable for us to access the treasury, so that there's a check, and we know that as we do our do tasks, then we know that there's been a valid, a teacher or an instructor that validates and checks off. It's just, yeah, I think I'm getting that right.
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah,
opposed,
that makes sense. Like if the idea is to eliminate the hiring process in mainstream organizations, I think this would make a lot of sense to them because it's so much easier than all of the things they do.
I think so. I think so.
I'm thinking it through that lens of like really by Boolean yes no membership. You're in your network or you're not, and it's sort of like this. You're enrolled in this course. You've unenrolled and you've gotten credentials from the course. It's just as opposed to just sort of it being very uh, ephemeral or vague, like who is there, I don't know. I think it makes then you can build things with it, like you can do all that network mapping and all that type of stuff. It becomes very it kind of becomes a little clearer, um and then being able to build with it on Cardano, like for instance, we're doing all this stuff on, we're doing all this building, but we're not using Cardano until right now. So that makes me feel pretty good.
So Newman, you can throw in the second assignment when you're ready, right? Draft a project proposal. We know you've done that and more.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'll approve it the same way. And then you can see that the state of your commitment right here says assignment accepted versus Steve's that says credential claimed. And the way you get from accepted to claimed state is when you leave the course.
Okay. Getting started next. Oh, I'm getting a lesson is not live.
Oh, yeah, for the
Let's,
lessons, I think that is going to be the case. Can you share for a sec?
yeah, let me share. Let me share. Share, share, this, this. And so, here we go. So lessons, and these are just the assignments that we're
Yeah,
doing.
Steve
Okay.
and I took the laziest possible approach and didn't publish any lessons. We just put two really quick assignments up.
I
Cool.
can join. Okay, where are the next?
This one, okay, this one, we don't yet have like the push polling yet. So that's why that one still says pending approval. If you refresh the page right here, you'll see that the
Okay.
assignment was accepted. Oh, here it comes. And connect to
You need to
wallet.
connect the wallet, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Assignment
Assignment
accepted.
accepted.
New.
Great. And then
Okay.
if you go to module 201, that assignment, draft a project proposal, same deal.
And then uh, and I could put like a link to it,
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera.
You can write markdown in this box, so you can do like headings and some
Okay.
just color stuff. If you highlight text, you can see that you can play with it. But
Oh, look at that. Nice. Okay. But I
but
don't
for
need to do
now,
any
we
of that
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
I drafted the Asteria project proposal. Okay.
Um,
Uh, and I think that's good.
and you can see for me, what's most exciting is like look again at the human element of this. Like I already know Newman did all this stuff. We're sitting right here. I'm going to vouch for him and I'm going to do so without hesitation. And I would never apologize for this if anybody gave me a hard time, right? We've been working on this stuff
Right.
together for months, and you're damn right I'm going to vouch. But if you were a
Right.
stranger to me, I would expect you to share a link to another
Yeah,
account,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And both of those are equally true. We're highlighting the human element of things here.
Um, I could put like James and Harsha. Let's see. I could put yeah, James, Harsha, Andrew, and Emmanuel help me, and I presented it at this time.
Beauty.
Uh, James, Harsha, Andrew, and Emmanuel. How do you spell Emmanuel? I never spell it right. Emmanuel. Uh, me, and we presented it uh over a few weeks at Open Spaces um around December of 2025.
If you get any typos in there, it'll be on chain forever, Newman.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
only
I
the
am a
hash.
human.
They'll be obscured by a hash. So no
Oh,
big
okay.
That's true. If somebody wants to go all the
deal.
way, if they want to unhex it, then it'll be all right. Here we go. I feel like that's better. Yeah, I drafted the Asteria project. Help me. We presented our a few weeks at Open Spaces in December of 2025.
You
I like it.
wanna throw the public link in? I'm putting in the chat right now, just if we want to start establishing some practices here.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Here is the what do we call it? GL project management board link. How about that?
Boom. That looks pretty professional.
Let's make it check it just for yeah, looks good to me. And a lucky and feel
Did
good
Ash? Yep.
and looks all like that stuff. Okay. And we sign. Just
I'm
drag
gonna
this
make
over
another
here.
50 cents. You know it.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not. I just pasted a giant thing in there. Wrong thing. Here we go. Okay. Nice. Yeah, one of the things I did professionally was run an LMS for I think it was Horizon, and then we went to Sakai, and yeah, it's interesting to see. Um, but yeah, this is it's kind of funny to think, oh, if I hadn't stepped out 15 years ago, would I be in something like this again? You know what I mean?
Let's let's use those skills. I'm excited about all the implications of bringing this stuff out to the world.
Well, I will tell you this, and I had this sort of thought, and I'm very glad to be at this perspective of it as opposed to being when all the sausage has been made,
Mhm.
like so that I've got like yeah, I'm very happy for that. That was
We'll keep, I mean, I'm really excited to hear from you guys what you're most excited to do next when the Asteria work wraps.
yeah. I that Noster thing, you mentioned that. I was like, oh, because that for me is, I mean, this is a very clear personality trait. Like I sort of I believe in sort of like harmony, and harmony means like a chord being many different notes. So it's like the social aspect of these things is super, super important. Like the game aspect, because this game is like a bunch of people in concert working together. So I think some some way in the collaboration, coordination, documentation is still my focus and priority.
I love it. I love
Um,
it. And so Jingles did a deep dive into the essential tech of integrating Nostr, but I think we need a lot of imagination on what do we do with this tool now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I think that imagination is the thing that's been lacking. The story or the storytelling and group stories, like those are games. Like games is like
yeah.
a group story. If you think about like a two half college basketball game,
Yeah.
um, no, there's a lot of interesting things as opposed to just like a network map, just drawing the connections between people. It's actually powerful, but it just seems like that's the first rung of like, okay, what can you do? You can visualize these networks, but if you can really, um, and it's something about the vouching or the approvers. Yeah, I definitely think that the emergent thing, there will be a next thing, if that's, change is the only constant kind of thing.
Okay, think about this. I mean, so I'll share screen for just a second here, right? So
Sure.
on my side, here's the assignment you just put in, and everything is still true about this social side of things. And I'm going to press a button to accept this assignment, of course, right?
Mhm.
But if a human can press that button and trigger it, couldn't a successful win on an Asteria game also trigger this transaction? And now what
Yes.
if, right? What if the onboarding for a dev was to play some Asteria? And then when you win, you get the credential, and the credential opens up this and blah, 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 right? Like we get to start thinking about how these different systems integrate. Or what if having certain credentials opened you up to like the high roller game of Asteria?
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely. And that could all be sort of funneled through this policy ID course project. assignment model. Like those are the terms that we can use that this this assignment is an automated Asteria game that perhaps has a special something that automatically triggers that transaction, just a transaction. Um, yeah, I can see it. Seems doable.
Um, I don't know if I just signed that transaction or not. Something buggy just happened. Um, oh, it didn't. Let me do that again. There's some funny things happening. There's a couple of bugs here. All right, that one was just accepted. Um, so Newman, if
Okay,
you could share screen again, now we can close the loop.
cool. All right. I
And
could
it's
give it a
still,
moment.
I think it's still confirming on my end. So, but you should see the pending state and now it's accepted. Cool. So if you connect,
Yeah.
you'll see this one's accepted. Right?
Nice.
If you go back to the home page of this course, and we need a better way to get there. Yeah, that breadcrumb's probably the best for now. You've got 2 accepted assignments, so now go ahead and leave the course.
Okay, leave course.
Right here, you'll get your deposit back from joining the course.
Sweet. It's so nice to have a second screen.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
And pending transaction, claim credential. So this transaction goes to like a validator with a stern, what's the word for it? Purpose. Is that in the ballpark?
It's
Enroll again.
this is a spending purpose. Yeah, it's still
Okay.
just a spending validator.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so now we finally close the loop here. So now if you go to browse all projects and
Oh,
look what you're now qualified for. One of these things is not
right,
like the other.
right, right.
Right? So now you click into this project and you can join this project.
Right here, contribute.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Right. So the defined prereq for this project is those 2 modules of that getting started with Gimbalabs course. You met those prerequisites, so now you're allowed to enroll in this project. And even as we wait for, to make final decisions about the Asteria prerequisites or even just putting that on chain, right? Would you guys have any objections to, you know, paying Harsha, Martin, and Newman 25 ADA from the Gimbal Labs treasury right now just for this session?
Yep, this is yeah,
Right?
that would love it. I would love that. Yeah, just
There'll be an on-chain record of what we did. We can apologize later when people audit us.
I mean, actually, I think it's kind of, we could make, yeah, yeah. I definitely think it's just as a philosophy, of like getting the pipe, just it's like a test transaction.
Right,
It's just like, did you get the thing? Project Catalyst does it.
right.
Did you get the test transaction? Yes. Okay, now you'll be ready. This is
And
what
so
this
yeah,
is. And
we're long overdue for this. Yeah. So
we could create I mean, I don't want to do that right now, but that in the future, like let's just make it, hey, now you are, you have a wallet, like all these things are set up, uh, that we verify the chain so that, that there's no like farther on down into the project. And you could just have like to use the terms, it would be well, it could be the Gimbal Labs course, the getting started with Gimbal Labs. And then if you have that module of like, I want to be a contributor and be uh, the prereq for being paid or being joining another paid project, then you could do that, and then we could fit it in that way. But as it is now, how will we do it?
Well, let me show you what the project side looks like because you'll be doing this with Asteria as soon as that one's up and running.
And I know this is a marathon session, so thanks.
Guys,
Thanks.
thank you. So yeah, if you guys have to go, this is what I needed to do today, and I'm so excited to be getting this into your hands. But
Nice.
all right, I'm going to go back to the studio. I have the creator view of this project that we were just looking at. I can now see that Steve and Newman are enrolled contributors.
Nice.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft a new task, and we're going to make this one testing and ideation. How's that?
Okay.
Live testing session. 25 ADA for now. And Newman, you have to claim this in the next 3 days. How's that sound?
I'm gonna claim it right now.
Justify at next open spaces. How's that? So we got acceptance criteria. The idea is acceptance criteria should feel similar to learning targets.
Right.
Save this draft. Now, governance decision, right? For now, it's me saying approved.
Mhm.
But can you see how this mirrors the consent process?
Right.
Right. And so next step would be only to press the approved button if consent is maybe achieved for a given task. And coming soon is we'll have on-chain governance features where people can register their approval of like a set of tasks, right? So this is a governance decision. I'm playing what Mix calls the Caesar role for now, just dictatorial power, right? But you can see where we're going.
Yeah.
Okay. That task is now approved. I'm going to put it on chain by managing the treasury token. We need a better name for this, but on chain, that's what's happening. In this transaction, I'm both going to pay the min UTXO for posting this task, and I'm going to supply the 25 ADA for funding the task.
Okay.
I'll sign the transaction.
Okay. Ending. Let's check out. Okay.
Okay, so that's published. It's waiting for somebody to commit. In the background, I'm going to add 2 more tasks, and I'm just going to show you this before I pass it back to Newman. I'm going to make 2 more testing and ideation tasks so that Martin and Harsha, you can repeat what you're seeing Newman do if you want to.
Yeah, and then I think Harsha, we as we were thinking about our project, we were like, okay, do they have to be like a separate task for every user?
Okay, and this is the other thing. So already implemented on chain. Adrian and Nelson are a few weeks ahead of me working on the front end stuff, and what they've already achieved is via our APIs, I can make this so that many commitments are allowed,
Right.
but I haven't implemented it yet on the front end.
On the front end. Okay.
So
Yep.
for now, I'm paying the price. I got to make 3 separate of the same task. This makes me really want to
The
fix
need.
that. Yep,
The
see?
need.
It's
Yeah.
urgent.
Yeah.
And you can see what this is similar. We're doing that like kind of family atmosphere, right? I'm trusting that one of you will take each one of these, right?
Yeah,
And I wouldn't do this with strangers.
exactly. And that is interesting that that's in the philosophy because it is it does make sense to me that as the network gets closer to those human trust things, like we're here live, face to face, manner of speaking, um, that
Do you guys consent to approving a few more tasks right here?
is
Okay.
approved.
Good enough. All right, so I will manage this. Um, 50 more ADA will be deposited because 25 already is. This gives me a space if I want to remove tasks that people haven't committed to yet, I could choose to do that. But for now, okay. This, I got to work on the arithmetic here. That's outdated. I got to look at why. But this is what it's going to cost me. I'm going to add 50 ADA and a little bit more menu TXO.
This is turning out to be a pretty costly session.
Well, I mean, great. We got 98,000 ADA to spend, guys. We got to do something with it.
I think it's valuable. The
No, no,
just
it is. But I was just thinking about random people that be using Andamio. Would they be like scared off by like so many transactions showing up?
Okay. Well, so
yeah,
listen.
something.
This is at the crux of the entire community conversation right now because I've heard the same people say these opposed two things. On the one hand, oh, it's so expensive to run an app on Cardano. Oh, we need more transactions on Cardano. Well, which one is it? Right? And
Uh,
we're gonna put this front and center for people. Yeah, look, if are these transactions worth it? Is it worth these transaction fees to build up self-sovereign on-chain identities where people can collaborate? If so, amazing. And we're excited to be driving transaction volume in that way. If not, okay, there's another reason why Hydra or why sidechains, right? And you can see
Mm,
any of these transactions we've just done might be offloaded to a side channel.
right.
And then
okay,
the
okay,
really interesting question follows. If we can do that, then which transactions must be on mainnet?
correct. Yeah.
So that's
So,
that's all I had.
uh, I'm not seeing this screen you are seeing. How do I get there?
We'll watch Newman do it in just a second. So I'm in the studio view of this project, right?
Hmm.
And you would have to go to the public view. Now remember, Newman just finished the course credential such that he was able to enroll in this project.
Ew.
So let's
Yeah,
see what it
that's
looks like when Newman commits to one of these tasks.
Newman,
Let's do it.
if you fail, we'll be taking back the 25 ADA you received.
Oh
All
man. So working without a net. Okay, here we go.
right, here
Um,
we don't have like the live polling for stuff like this because it's just not a priority. These are likely to be asynchronous transactions. But if you refresh,
yeah.
here we go.
Aha, here we go.
Don't steal Harsha's. I don't know which one.
I got them all. Yeah. Woohoo. Up first. Thank you and good night. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. So I'll get one. I'll get this first one. And about to tab prereqs. So we see the prereqs of the getting started discussion.
That's the
Oh, I saw
master.
people doing this.
Yeah.
I saw Nori do it, so I was like, I figured it's good to do it. Okay. Um, uh, and
Now,
justify the next open space. So we'll talk about it in the next open space and then commit to this task.
yep. Yep. Now you
Okay.
need to connect a wallet at some point. It didn't make you do it yet, but
Oh, interesting.
yeah, so maybe we want to force you to, I don't know. In the UX, does this feel okay? We could
Well,
just,
let's see what happens when I
yeah.
like how it's gonna break. Let's see. Testing out. And anything else?
Good to me.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
All right, so you don't see the commit button without connecting a wallet.
Without
Yeah, we
connection.
need a little bit better help than that.
Look at that. There it is. Yeah. So that's a note for sure.
Yep.
All right. And then we do this. We do this. Do this.
So in this one, you're paying a 0.56 ADA transaction fee. This is one of the most expensive transactions in our system because a lot of stuff is happening under the hood. And
Okay.
we're taking a flat 2 ADA deposit, which is holding your assignment evidence. Okay.
Okay.
Now, after this goes through, we'll switch back to my screen and I'll show you that I can approve it, and then you'll be able to claim those rewards.
And Harsha and Martin, have you guys done the prereq? Have you done the Gimbalabs contributor?
No, no, let me do it.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, do it now because you'll need to in order to do this part.
So this is the
Uh,
getting started at Gimbalabs course, right? Like the prereq?
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Okay.
That's right. All right, so my page
Uh,
doesn't update automatically. We don't have, right? Again, this is async. It's a priority, but not a high one. Here we go. But I can see here's one that's pending approval. Oh, that must be the one that Newman just did. I head on over here to manage current commitments. And there it is.
nice. I tested down Domio out. Okay.
Connect my wallet. I could deny or refuse if I felt like it, but I'll stay for now.
What's the difference between deny and what's and refuse? Which is
Oh, Adrian, can you say it one more time? I keep getting that one backwards.
So if you refuse, you get another chance, and if you deny, you don't get another chance.
oh, okay.
Deny is only possible if the deadline is, yeah.
The time.
So for me as a creator, the deny button shouldn't even show up at this stage because it's not a valid transaction.
Yes, exactly.
We would want to hide that. Okay. This is actually a relatively simple transaction. It's just double maybe the minimum fee, right? And that's all. Relatively simple. Okay.
Oh dear. I gotta check my crock pot. Hold on.
Sure. Oh, nice. Somebody's working on evidence right here. That's cool.
Is it mine? Oh, okay, maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
So because mine is still like preparing for signature, would it show up here already?
Exactly. No, I can't see that you submitted, but I can see that you're working on it. So I'm awaiting you to submit evidence.
My
So
transaction
yeah.
pending.
Oh,
Oh,
so it might be Martin. But yeah, we'll see that.
oh, I see. I see. Yeah, that makes sense because I didn't sign yet. I'm still. Can I share my screen for 1 second because my transaction is not moving forward for some reason. Give me 1 second.
Crock pot update. It
Yeah,
is good.
Yeah. So,
what are you making today?
Grandma's chicken and dumplings. And it's just super simple. And I was a little worried because I was like, well, I can't sit here and watch it simmer. And I put it on high on the crock pot, and it's just perfect. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
I just ate, but now I'm getting hungry again.
Yeah, well, if you could smell through the screen here, I opened up the door and I was like, oh my goodness, I was expected to see my grandmother standing there. I was like, oh, I'm freaking
Oh,
out.
dude. Yeah, if you could just give me the smell of like onions in butter oil and a cigarette going
Yeah,
inside, that brings me
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's a missing hint of Marlboro.
yeah.
It's in there.
Harsha, I'm not sure why this is happening. There's a few reasons. Can we just refresh the page and try one more time?
Yeah.
James, I would assume it's a concurrency issue, as the
Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. Well, Adrian, is that a daunting one, or do you feel excited about that?
I think it's a fun one.
Okay, good.
Good.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Now it shows up.
look at that.
Oh, so I was fighting for UTXOs. I now won.
Our jokes are leveling up. I mean, we're on fire. This is great.
Mhm.
Um, so good. I'll approve those assignments in just a second. Newman, I'm curious to see if our notification system is working. Can you share screen again?
Sharing screen. Here we go.
Well, let me
Okay.
stop 1 second.
And just go back to like the home page. Hey, it
Aha.
worked. Nice.
Look at this. All right. Claim the reward. See, enable. Okay. Click here. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Okay. Now I can also click here or here. Okay.
Are you sharing screen, Newman?
Oh, crap. Am I not sharing?
No, I could see it. I could see
Oh,
it.
really? Oh, I
Yeah,
can't
it's
see it.
Oh,
Okay.
refreshing.
you might need to go like in the top of your uh Zoom there, there's might be two people sharing screen, so you may have to pick it. Can you see it?
Mm, no.
I'll stop share and share again. Hold on.
Yeah. 1 second.
Got it now?
Yeah, now I got it. Yeah.
Nice.
This cost
So,
breakdown is pretty interesting for a couple of reasons. So first of all, you're going to get more than 25 ADA back, right? So the reward for this was 25 ADA, but remember how you deposited 2 ADA when you made the commitment?
oh,
So you're going to
right.
get those 2 ADA plus the reward. And in your wallet, you'll see this. You're actually going to get 26.53 ADA. Okay. Right there, it says Andamio network fee 1 ADA. That's a placeholder. And this is one of the transactions where we are considering charging a fee to the Andamio network, right? At the end of all this pipeline, is this a reasonable place for Andamio to take a small cut from a successful task completion?
Okay.
But yeah, that's going to close the loop, and that's the 4th payout in history on the Andamio network. Thanks.
All right.
Amazing.
What do you want to do next? Okay.
I'm approving Martin's
Look at
assignment.
this.
What's that?
What's
Is it letting you claim again? Okay, so the claim button is still there. That's not going to fire actually a successful transaction, but it is giving you some CBOR that appears to be signable. All right, that's a bug that needs to be fixed.
okay? Should I try to spring the trap here or
Try it. Yeah, let's see what it
this?
does. I mean, I think it's going to let you sign, and then we're going to get like an error at the submission time. And if
Okay,
that
here.
doesn't happen and you somehow steal 33 and a half ADA from somewhere, better to find out now.
Better to find out now. But
What?
this is what it's
Right.
this
So
is
it's
what it
look, it's the
says.
same funds received. Yeah, I think it's going to try to spend a UTXO that's already been spent, and you're going to get an error in the wallet. But let's
Here we
see what
go.
happens. Yeah. And go to your Eternal wallet. Yeah. And so, okay, well, interesting. Says, yikes. What does your Eternal wallet say there? Yikes. I
Okay,
don't
let's
know.
check it out.
Wow, you claimed twice. Adrian, what does that mean?
Oh,
That means Newman is richer.
I mean, great. Yeah, this is a reasonable price to pay. I didn't know this was possible.
That should not be possible. Can you open the first one so that we have more information about it?
sure.
Because
This
we
one
have,
here.
Yeah, both of them. So if you can you give me that transaction hashes?
Okay. This one here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm posting it in the chat. Where's my chat now? Here it is. Okay.
And the other one maybe too.
So that was the original. That's the first one. Okay. I uh you want me to look at anything?
No, no, I'm looking at the Explorer.
Okay. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Or go back to
I'm so you have two times the same transaction hash, so that's
They're the
I
same.
get just a error from Eternal.
What? That's
If
Why
you
was
look
impossible.
at
he,
the
why
first
was that
transaction,
balance showing up in his wallet? That's so weird.
I would assume maybe there was some rollback. Can you refresh Eternal?
yeah. Oh, right. It could just be Eternal Wallet.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
look.
yeah, it's gone.
Gone now.
It's two
Yeah.
times the same transaction hash, and you cannot have two times the same transaction hash. Not possible.
Hey, it worked. It worked.
Good. Okay, so the blockchain backed us up there. The UX was bad because, some amateur built the front end, but the
No.
luckily the blockchain works.
Wow, that's really cool. So, I mean, we figured something out that you can submit with the same thing and it will come through the wallet, but then there's some type of it won't stay in a wallet. Interesting.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, I mean, thanks. That's great. I'm submitting an issue for that right now. So I need to hide um, get rewards button after successful claim TX. Fun. Cool.
And James, like, do you think it is worth adding, like, specifically when you refresh the page, like the wallet keeps getting disconnected? Like, do you think that makes sense?
Good. Yeah, with that one, that's a sneaky problem. But Jingles did just implement in Mesh the ability to, what's the word? What's the word for that? I don't know. Persist. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so like I think we're gonna do that. I haven't implemented it yet and tested it. And there's some funny behavior that follows. So all right, well, I've approved the first assignments from Martin and Harsha. You guys are good to go. I vouched for you that you've joined open spaces.
And should I be refreshing the page to see the commit to task section?
So now you still have to do the second assignment in the getting started course, right?
So I committed to the second assignment.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. And then is there anything else I should do?
I can't
Oh,
see
you
it
must
yet.
come.
I didn't get draft a project proposal from you yet.
Let me quickly share my screen. Just so I'm. Oh, Jesus. So I'm right here.
Mhm.
I committed to it,
Oh,
or
okay.
did I?
This is the task,
Oh,
right? But you're not yet qualified for this task because you got to graduate from getting started with Gimbalabs.
um, I thought I did that. No, getting started. So it says leave course. That means I haven't graduated, or should I do this
Right.
as well?
Well,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
And so you can leave the course anytime, but in your case, you want to finish because you need both of these modules to have the credential.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's two of them. Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it's gonna like, there's some like awkwardness ahead as we catch up, as we get like everybody who's been here doing stuff like retroactively up to speed. But what I'm excited to get your guys' thoughts on is like, how do we make this the best possible experience for people who are showing up for the first time? Right?
Right.
Make it feel fast and natural. Oh, I'm doing this first assignment. Yeah, I'm making progress at Gimbal Labs already. Cool. I feel
Mhm.
confident about what I did already. Now I'm ready to do the next thing. Da 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 da. Cool. So that one's pending approval. I can see it over here from both students. These guys are really class acts. This is cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Improving buttons now. Oh, you know what the other cool thing is? You guys minted your tokens a while ago, so right, that's done. But like looking at Pool PM and seeing Andamio logos among all of like the DGen NFTs is pretty cool.
This Andamio is more degen than
Ha!
that's old school.
Nice.
No, trading on MintSwap, that's not anymore degen anymore, right?
Hmm.
A little bit.
Jeez. All right, both of you guys are fully approved. So now you can, before you can enroll in this project, you have to unenroll in the course.
Oh, in the previous one. Oh, I completely
Yeah,
forgot about that
yeah.
step. Yes. So the point of unenrolling is only to like claim the ADA that is locked, the small, that one.
The point is that you actually you take from, we call it a local state, a state that is local to this course where you've been kind of gathering assignments, and you say, okay, I'm done with that course, and now I'm going to take the credentials from the course and make them globally available in my
Oh,
account.
okay. Yeah, I mean just the wording of leave the course like
We need
doesn't
help
give me
with that.
the
Yeah, no,
yeah.
nobody on the team is happy with that language right now. So if you wake up with any suggestions, we would be grateful. Hey, you're qualified. Okay, but before
Yeah.
you can do this, once again, right, there's
Hmm.
there's some extra stuff to do here.
Hmm.
Before you can take the task, go back to the home page of that project, and you gotta click the contribute to this project button.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay. So when this pop-up shows up, that means it's
Confirmed
on
on.
chain?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Andrew built that.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yep. Yeah,
sweet.
he learned how like the transactions are working, and he got into how transaction confirmations work. And so yeah, he
Nice.
added that.
I don't see that green button you just
Did you unenroll in the course yet?
unenroll.
Leave it.
Hmm.
Whatever awkward language. No, I can
Leave
see.
the course.
Leave course.
Leave it. Oh, I have to leave.
Leave it all behind.
So, why do I need to do that?
Is it, I mean, I'm not sure how to treat that question. Right? No,
You
it's
are enrolled on this course. Yeah.
yeah.
I see that enrolled, but I don't see how to unenroll.
Can
Do,
you
do you want to share the screen, Martin?
Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Like I have this one. You are enrolled.
connect a wallet?
Oh, ooh, I got
Yeah,
disconnected.
just disconnected. Yeah.
I
Leave
failed to
course.
notice that. My screen is too big. I It was in my peripheral vision. Boom. Okay.
Nice.
Ah. I mean, all this transactioning is awesome, but yeah, on one hand, it's a lot.
It is. It is. And right, our casual users are not yet going to be satisfied by this, right?
Yeah, it could be possible to stack transactions, right?
Yeah, we've got some efficiency work to do here.
Well, and I'm kind of because you wouldn't, I guess, on a small, you would normally enroll in the course, take it for a few, hours even. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be such a so quick.
Yeah,
But
right now
in this case, definitely.
Yeah,
we're
that's how I
speeding.
think about it too, right? Like a lot of this is going to be asynchronous, so we're seeing kind of the most madness of it, but still, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot to ask.
Should I take the bottom one?
You and Harsha got to argue about that. I don't know what's
Oh man.
I'm doing it before you, so let's see who gets it first.
Only one allowed. Hmm.
Did you pick the first one?
No,
No, okay.
but it would be a good test. Oh, all things considered, wasn't that much.
Could be worse.
No, I think in Cardano, everybody's very, we value our Cardano very much, but that maybe is sometimes a little bit holding you back from just,
Hey, I mean, we need to understand its role as fuel, but also are we maybe a few months away from being able to argue that this is going to make ADA more valuable? Right? This is the kind of utility we need for this stuff to have the value we think it has.
yeah, but I see all around everything is progressing to a next stage where now you see real stuff being built using UTXO instead of just having a copy of a DEX from Ethereum. That was the first stage.
Amen.
Get
Amen.
that running fast, and then it was, you know, SIP 30 is limited because of this move fast choice. Pending. Do I need to do something or is it done?
Nope, I think now you just got to wait for me to approve. Perfect. So we're back around to my side again. Give me just one.
Level 1. Wow.
Where does it say that? Oh yeah, level 1 contributor. Nice. Yep.
That is kind of funny.
After all
If
I've
you're gonna
done,
achieve
No,
two
we
point
should
five is
I think
you would think.
we should get a special badge
Damn
just
right you should.
that, that we have for the rest of this platform live. Just being the
That's
first.
so the metadata for the current Andamio token that's being issued says like first edition. You can see it in your wallet, and that'll change sometime in the future. So right, it doesn't affect all of the datum that has your credentials. That stuff is all by the validator conditions. That's not going to change. But it's kind of cool to have like just the classic NFT metadata is going to have a little message in it that's irreplaceable.
Wow. It's like a low slash dot user number.
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. Hey, I have two commitments to approve. This is great. Yeah. I'm waiting for Harsha's to confirm, and then I'll run Martin's.
Every day it feels like, wow, we're this is so far ahead of what other people do. It's great.
I'm excited, man. I can't believe we're here. I still, it's, I don't mean to repeat myself, but thanks for sharing this moment, guys. It means a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I make such long days often, like in the evening, like now. It's 8:30, but can't imagine with my when I was at a job that I would do that and you know
Be happy about it. Yeah.
I have still energy to go for four more. That's crazy.
Can I just
It,
record you saying that so I can share it with my wife? Listen, I'm not alone. We love this stuff. We just can't help it.
And I did the same this weekend, or hacking on Dingo with uh, uh, dgraph stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. It's maybe it's the thing you should be doing then, right? I feel like it.
I'm grateful to know what that's like. Um, yeah, I know that things aren't easy for most people. The fact that we get to do something that inspires us, it's no small thing.
No.
Okay. Harsha, yours is going to be claimable.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. It says pending transaction.
Oh, cool, cool. And Martin's, yours is pending on my end.
Oh,
This one's slow for mainnet. I don't know. Harsha's was fast.
Just missed the block thing.
Yeah, right.
I think you guys are filling the blocks.
I just checked pool PM and you see the Andamio pool thing, A and D.
The
oh,
real OGs have one where you cannot see it.
Oh, it's still going. Come on.
The one, it skipped one.
Okay. Well, no. Uh, yes, no. Oh yeah, okay. Martin, if you refresh, this is one again, like there's some polling to really professionalize this
Oh,
app.
yeah,
We'd
yeah.
want to send you a push there, but we're not doing that
I
yet.
love this, how this looks. This is nice.
Thanks.
Makes it feel a lot more professional for some reason.
Thanks. And you can see where the cleanup still needs to happen. All right, if you connect wallet again, now you'll see the claim rewards button.
So if I refresh, I lose connection, right?
Yeah, yeah. And we'll see about getting that fixed. I'm not sure. Goes. So
here we
at
go.
this point, Harsha and Newman, now you guys have seen the whole loop and you guys have the
Yep.
ability to administer that Asteria project like vouching course that we made, right?
Yeah.
There are no modules yet minted in that course, but you have the ability to mint a module when you feel ready.
Mhm.
All right. You can leave it as is with just the single learning target. And if you feel like adding anything, that's up to you.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
But then we'll need a project. Okay. So we could make that project right now and put it on chain, or we could sleep on it and do that tomorrow. I'm good either way. What do you think?
Oh, no, I gotta stop for now,
How
but
long?
we'll
What
be
time
back
is? Wait, did we just do like a 6 hour meeting? Is that what just happened? Five,
Yeah.
pretty.
5 plus?
It was 5 minutes. Can't be longer than 5 minutes.
Um, but we can't now that yeah, now that we've seen this and we kind of know, we can start thinking in terms of what kind of one for the project as it will sit for future learners and then also for our for this management course. But I don't think I'm seeing it for me.
The project or the course?
Uh,
Martin, can you
the
unshare? We'll hand it to Newman one more time.
let's check it over. Yeah, let's check it over. Just so that Harsha, are you able to see it?
Uh,
Uh, can
so
you see
all
my screen?
I only see public projects. Like I don't know where to see the private projects.
Okay. So we didn't yet make the Asteria project yet. I demoed that for you guys on pre-prod like
Oh,
last week or
okay, okay,
something, but we didn't make it yet. Now you
okay.
can see that as a creator, is the course showing up, Newman? If you go to the courses, no, it's not. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a bug. You should be seeing it there, and that's a bug that I've just
Oh,
figured out. But if you
but
go to
if I go,
Studio, go to Andamio Studio, just up above.
oh,
Oh, I see it in mine.
studio,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
studio here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
That's
There
the
it is.
one.
There it
Yeah,
is.
and we need that to show up in your dashboard, but for some reason it's not. Okay.
Right. So we'll get tomorrow we'll get Manuel and Andrew to do this.
Right. And you can rename this. Nobody, this module is not yet on chain and nobody
Okay.
can commit to it yet. So you can change the name, you can change the learning target and the assignment until you decide to publish it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, so
If
once we publish it, Emmanuel and Andrew can see this. Is
exactly.
okay, okay.
Exactly. And you guys will also need to earn this credential. There's just because you're the one creating it doesn't mean that you've also earned it from an on-chain,
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. That makes
right?
sense.
So if you need this credential, you'll also have to commit to the assignment. Then you can approve yourself or approve each other. And then once you have this credential, you unenroll in the course, and then we'll set up the Asteria project with whatever prerequisite. If it's just one course, right? Policy ID C70, whatever, module 101, that's like the minimum a prereq could be.
Right. And I mean, yeah, we'll discuss Harsha tomorrow. Like maybe we do want to add some things on chain, but we don't want to go overboard.
No, no,
Um,
just the basic one. Yeah.
it could just be this. We'll sort of see, but then that will give us this is a prereq to join the actual Asteria project, and that will be the one that we build for future learners.
Not future
That'll
learners, like for
that'll be
us.
the project where funds are distributed for the work you guys are doing right now.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So that's
And
important. That's an
yeah.
important one. Yeah.
Here, let me share screen one more time.
Okay.
Right. So we've now got, look at this, right? Gimbalabs governance DREP community engagement with a prereq of Gimbalabs level one now has 4 completed commitments and it's paid out, right? We can see all that right here. We can see that here's the total outlays ever from this project. But there's no ADA currently in the treasury for future tasks, right? What we will do once the Asteria project exists is we'll just take that 20,000 ADA, we'll put it in a treasury.
Okay.
That's all, right? And then it's up to you guys to decide how you break down the tasks. And because you will be the owners and administrators of that project, you'll work together to draft new tasks, decide what the acceptance criteria and rewards are. And it's up to the 4 of you to decide how to spend that 20,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there a way to have like one more level of approval? Like just in case the 4 of us fight and decide, oh, like we shouldn't do this or that, and someone else can come step in and just approve
Yeah.
tasks.
God, I love that
Ye-
question is everything, isn't it? I mean, right.
Yeah.
But let's create conditions and let's get right up to the limit of where those fights happen, because where those fights happen is when we're going to invent new things. Right. So if
Okay.
if it feels good, you 4 guys working together, and listen, right? Because of the way this thing is built, the 4 of you could just decide, let's all give ourselves 5,000 ADA and disappear forever.
Right.
Right? Like that's how it's built. But the core assumption of Andamio is that the value of being an honest actor in the system is greater than whatever short-term reward you could run away with. And we don't know the extent to which that's true, right? If there was a million ADA in a treasury and just the four of you, and you could run away with 250,000 ADA, maybe you would,
Yeah, right.
right? But
Uh,
like this is the thing.
or yeah.
Where do we have the appropriate level of a blast radius where it's safe for people to trust working together? And yeah, anytime disagreements happen, that's actually the most interesting thing that can be. And we can start to build out systems from there. But right, that's decentralization for me is like you wait for the conflict to happen and then you address it. Centralization is you imagine everything that could go wrong and you institute draconian rules to make sure that none of those things ever happen. And you
Right,
disempower
right.
people, right? Like we're not trying to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so, okay, yeah. And then there'll be another course. So prereq course, the membership course, which we just did, uh, then a project management course, you know, that has the full treasury.
Well, it's a course and a project, right? So the
Okay.
prerequisite course and then the project with the
Oh,
treasury. Right.
okay. Okay.
Now, in the future, might there be another course that's more for like a public view of the Asteria project, teaching people what you guys learned and inviting people to some higher level of
Um,
contribution? Sure. But those are all future concerns.
well, yeah, and yeah, we can iterate it through, and it'll be interesting to think in terms, and this is actually a real, a benefit of like we'll be using Andamio to manage a group and thinking in terms of these prerequisites, modules, courses. And Harsha, is that you tracking? Do you kind of you feel it that way?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can work with this. Um, yeah, and it'll be like those subtasks, and we have that spreadsheet of how we kind of thought to break down the funds
Yes,
and to do
frankly, in our
yeah
case, I think we should put in the tasks after the fact that we complete a task. Like beforehand, we are not sure what the tasks are.
what the
So,
task is exactly, and it could be as simple as like weekly you know participation. Did you do this? Did you do this? And we just make it by the week. That'd be like time. Or it could be by like it's the same old sort of thing. It's just like, did you spend the time on it or did you complete a thing? And we've done that in the past. Like we did a couple of like task things. I'm thinking of like Discord, D work. Like all of that work was real, like the task thing. But it'll become apparent. And then once we start using this language, it'll uh, we'll be able to communicate and uh, make it flow.
And we'll
Um,
build new features to get those balances right, right? Like this is like minimum functionality right now. But on my screen here, this is just an example. Like
okay,
Andrew and Caesar have been making small contributions to the platform, like tackling little bug fixes, stuff like that. And
okay,
yesterday they got paid out for their initial contributions, right? But each of these initial contributions, you can see the rewards have already been claimed. But each of these actually comprised of like six or seven different pull requests they made to the code base. And we decided like, hey, yeah, could we retroactively have them go through and do seven different commitments? Like, yeah, but that would be silly, right?
right.
So we just added up the work they had done so far and said, okay, you get this, you get this. And that's right, that's just an emergent way of using this system. and it suggests features that we might want to build later. Hey, how can I do a
Right.
thing where like people like aggregate some smaller tasks over time? And that's exactly what you see right here, right? Like Andrew then did another PR last night, 25 ADA for that because it was a little tiny thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep just adding the PRs he made to this task until this number is substantial enough to make it worthwhile.
Right.
Then we
Right.
publish this, he'll claim it all at once.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't have predicted that. Like that wasn't something we planned for. It's just the way we ended up using it. And now there's some possible features we could build from there.
Makes sense.
What a marathon. Okay.
All
5 hours,
right.
25
All
minutes. That's what I
right. All
got.
right.
You guys
Sweet.
appreciate it. And thank you.
Holy
Thank
cannoli.
you. Thank you.
Good times. Good times. We'll see you guys
Till
Congrats.
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Take
See
Appreciate
you
care,
it.
y'all.
guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Adrian.
Bye.
Thanks, Marv. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.